I did it!
Oh, son of a bitch.
Tyler.
Time for class.
Oops, sorry.
Tyler is out delivering presents, and Cole, Pete is peeved, and Joseph brings a new game to the show.
Oh, it's time for class.
Class is in session!
Roll call. Bueller.
I'm gonna be late for class.
Bueller.
Am I hallucinating here? Just what in the hell do you think you're doing?
I'm late for class.
You are mine now. You belong to me.
Did you study for the test?
No more complaining. No more Mr. Kimble to go to the bathroom. Nothing. There is no bathroom.
Hello, classmates. Welcome to Middle Class Film Class. I'm your host for today, Joseph.
And I'm Peter.
And no Tyler over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is out being Santa.
Yeah, he's doing his best Black Peter impression against our advice. He thinks he got the pass, and now he can just say whatever he wants.
Yeah. He's out delivering those last minute gifts, those expedited shipments of clothes and
Tchotchkes,
international deliveries.
garbage, just junk in general.
Yeah, just future trash.
Pretty much.
So he's doing out the heavy lifting. You know, he's part of that.
The capitalist machine.
Yeah, exactly. He's the cog.
Yeah,
one of them anyway.
If you don't know by now, Tyler works for DHL.
Yeah,
he delivers packages, and he hates it. He says he loves it, but every time we talk to him, every
says
week
he hates it. You know, it's been a hard week, hard week of work.
It's tough. And then he implores everybody to stop ordering things online.
Maybe
Put him out of work.
DHL employees should go on strike as well.
Yeah, maybe.
But other than that, welcome everybody else on YouTube Live and in podcast land and with the OG classmates who are audio only. We encourage you to go video as well.
Yeah.
It helps us.
I know sometimes if you're like driving in the car, it doesn't make sense to watch the YouTube. So I get that. But if you haven't ever checked out the YouTube page, it's fun. You get to actually see what we look like and go,
If you're curious about that.
oh,
kind of
that's
stuff.
what Joseph looks like. Oh, that's what Pete looks like.
Oh,
I thought.
I'll go back to audio.
Yeah. Wow, I can see the grease dripping
Yeah.
on Tyler.
We are actually just incels.
Yeah, it's true.
We don't leave this room. But yeah, here we are on the.
Are we doing flannel talk right now?
I guess so.
We had bagel pod. Now we have flannel pod.
Yeah, it's another benefit of watching it visually. You can see what we're wearing, or not wearing.
Yeah.
Sometimes
That's for middle class after dark.
Yeah, for the Patreon only. We are in our flannel uniforms for this week.
It's Christmas.
Yeah, the week of Christmas. It's here. Like, it's already here.
Well, it's the 22nd, so when this goes live,
it'll be the 23rd.
This part will be the 23rd.
Yes.
And then the second half, when we review Paul Blart Mall Cop, the Christmas classic.
It'll be our Christmas gift to everybody.
Yes, it'll be on Christmas Day.
Yeah, you can skip your family celebrations
Kids
and
are like, Santa's here, and the dad's like, shut the fuck up.
I'm listening to him.
I gotta listen to the new podcast. Hey, it's Tyler. Tyler's in the chat.
I thought you were working.
Yeah. What are you doing, Tyler?
You turn me down. I feel like I'm a little hot.
Yeah, I feel like we're
Headphones.
both hot for some reason. Yeah, they turned the volume down a little bit. How about that?
That's
better.
Yes.
Okay. We also had some technical stuff on the actual board. It started freaking out on us.
Yeah, there was an update,
And then when the update happened, all our audio was all jacked up. So if we sound different, we like on the fly, we're trying to like remove all the processing and undo all the good stuff that Rodecaster was trying to do to us.
Yeah.
And then I unplugged the power cord right before we started rolling. That's all my bad.
It's all good. It's everybody's kind of checked out in this part of the year. I feel like the last two, in terms of working and just priorities, have shifted.
Should we even talk about movies this episode?
Yeah, I don't know.
Should we all play Super Meat Boy in Minecraft?
Yeah, just bring up the Switch and we'll cast it and you just watch us gab about mining and sheep and
you play
pigs.
Super Meat Boy.
Yeah,
I'll do Minecraft and we can have our
have two screens.
screens going. Like Subway Surfer. Tyler be playing Subway Surfer.
Point our cameras to the screens.
Yeah, exactly. I have the interface.
Oh, do you?
Yeah, because Brianna does. When she plays Animal Crossing, she'll record her village or her little town or whatever. Yeah, and then make little YouTube videos and upload them.
Nice.
Or she'll do tours of other people's villages. They'll invite them to their island, and she goes around and takes the tour from them. And it's like, oh, this is cute. Look at this.
This one sucks.
Yeah. She comes out and's like, I don't like this one at all. I am offended.
But yeah, here we are, and we are going to talk about movies. Movies that we watched, Christmas movies, maybe one in particular.
Yeah.
So let's get into it.
Find some character in you, lad. Now's the time for gab and chatter.
Gab and chatter, movie news, movie-related things to discuss. There's only two of us here, so
yeah.
Pete, let's make it. We can extend our
make it count.
Time a little bit.
Yeah.
Pete, what do you have?
A couple things I wanted to talk about. We have a new Superman trailer out, the James Gunn Superman universe, and it's interesting. It's got Crypto the dog in it.
Crypto,
and that dog is cute. That is a cute looking dog. I feel like that's going to put more butts in seats than probably Superman himself.
Probably.
Did you see the trailer?
I did. I did watch it.
It looks like a comic book. It looks like Goofy. You know what I mean?
It looks silly.
It looks silly.
It looks vibrant.
Yeah,
very vibrant.
It's like highly exposed sort of colors, highly saturated colors, however you want to say that.
Yeah. I mean, the man is red and blue,
and he's wearing the trunks.
Yes,
he's wearing like basically the
underwear,
shorty underwear swim trunks,
the red tidy whities.
Yeah, and red boots too.
Yeah,
like actual like leatherish boots, which I appreciate that. I like I like that they're going a little bit back to the original, and then Nathan Fillion with that dumbass bowl cut.
I know.
True to the comic, also.
Yeah.
I don't know who that character is, but
I think he's Green Lantern.
He's a Green Lantern. He's
one of the lanterns.
He's one of the lanterns
that are green.
He's an Emerald Lantern.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought it was like it definitely was felt like goofy, and which I'm kind of like I feel like that's a good change of pace because every fucking superhero movie feels dark as shit now. But I don't know if it looked good. You know?
Yeah, there was the way the movie looks shot, it looks like a TV show more than a movie. Because there was like some exterior day shots that just looked like I don't know, it didn't look
Cinematic.
Yeah, whatever that means, cinematic.
Sure.
You know, it didn't look good. I guess.
Yeah, I
You know,
guess we'll
it
see.
looked like we were just outside at noon. You know, when the sun is right above us and the shadows are like right below your nose, and you got the neck shadow from your chin. It just didn't. I don't know. And then like the wide, there's a lot of wide angles that they used, and it did scream like it was just gonna go straight to CW. The way, like it's gonna be like the Flash show or the Arrow show.
Oh yeah.
And James Gunn did. I mean, he's done a lot of stuff of more of the violent nature. The last comic book movie he did, I believe, was Suicide Squad, correct? Or Guardians 3.
Guardians 3, and I think we're in Suicide Squad. I can't remember which came first, but right around the same time.
Yeah, and The Suicide Squad was a really fun movie and was really, really violent.
Yeah.
And then Peacemaker from that
It was really violent.
also really fun.
Super hard R.
And also really violent.
Yeah.
And now he's kind of taken a turn, I guess. And it didn't look violent.
Well, we'll see.
And Superman's kind of more of like, I feel like a wholesome superhero.
He's supposed to embody like all the greatest traits of a quote unquote American. Like the prototypical American is Superman.
This alien.
In the original, this illegal alien came here illegally without permission.
I will say that he looks like the best Clark Kent.
Who's very good.
Version of Clark. He looks like a bumbling dork.
I'm gonna watch it. And more for James Gunn than anything because I didn't see Man of Steel until it was foisted upon us. And I watched it then, and I thought it was good, I guess. But
I still enjoy Man of Steel like a lot.
I think Cavill is just a fantastic Superman, but I just don't have a huge connection with the character, so I don't really care, honestly. Like Christopher Reeve, I don't.
I mean, this
does
movie
nothing for
definitely
me.
feels more like it's in line with those Supermans.
Yeah, the
in terms
original ones.
In terms of the
The
tone.
Richard Donner ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll see.
But yeah.
Interesting trailer. And then another trailer for 28 Years Later, directed by Danny Boyle again.
Danny Boyle.
Written by Alex Garland again.
Yes.
The Dream Team is back at it.
Yeah, it's kind of funny that they got stuck on that naming convention.
Yeah.
28 weeks, 28.
Yeah. The next one is going to be like Jason X in space. It's 28 millenniums later, centuries later.
And they already have the second one announced. Or the fourth one.
Fourth one? Really?
Yeah, it's going to come out in 2026.
What?
Yes.
They shot two at the same time?
It's a different director.
Oh.
It's not Danny Boyle.
That's weird.
But it's like 28 years later.
Again.
It's almost like a spin-off.
Okay. So it's set in the same timeline as this upcoming movie?
I believe so.
Just in a different part of the world?
There's a subtitle for it, like it's called like The Bone Shrine or something like that. Because you didn't watch the trailer.
Yeah.
Or you didn't watch all of it. There's a shot of like these skulls mounted up in like a pile, almost like a shrine or an idol, or something. And I assume it has something to do with like maybe there's a faction in the 28 Years Later universe that did that.
Oh, interesting.
It looks very cultish or ritualistic. But yeah, the 28 Years Later trailer was probably one of the coolest trailers that I've seen in a while.
I just turned the sound deadening off again because it's doing weird things. It's like peaking super hard.
Yeah.
So
now I sound.
I know, now we sound sultry.
Yeah. We're doing it live.
Yeah. Sorry, guys. We're gonna be. Well, you can tell us if you like the first 5 minutes or the
the last
50 minutes.
Yeah. But that trailer, it's set to this poem.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
Called, like, it's like an old marching, like, for the military poem, and it's read by an actor from like the 40s or 30s, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really creepy, especially put with obviously music and edited and embellished further with the editing of the trailer. But it's like really, really unsettling.
Yeah.
And this actor's delivering it in such a passionate way that it's really effective. And it's a really cool trailer. I just hope the movie now lives up to the trailer because it was a really, really good.
I mean, between the two of them, Garland and Danny Boyle.
Yeah. I haven't seen 28 Weeks Later in so long. I've only watched it once.
It holds up. It's good.
And I've only watched it at the drive-in.
Oh, wow. The first 5 minutes or so is hard to live up to.
The intro
is really good. And what I've heard is that Danny Boyle directed that scene because the second movie is not directed by Boyle. It's directed by like his protege or something.
Mm-hmm.
So, but supposedly Boyle stepped in and directed that and helped oversee the editing of it or whatever because it's fucking effective. Robert Carlyle abandoning his wife.
Yeah.
Fuck.
I get him confused with
Jason Fleming?
No, the guy who played Abomination in Incredible Hulk. Tim Roth.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I could see it.
28 Years Later sequel, The Bone Temple. That's what it's called. Gets January 2026 release. That's what it's called.
Wow. Okay.
The Bone Temple.
Well, for now we just have 28.
That's what I call my bedroom.
That's what they call it. Kids calling it now.
Welcome to the Bone Temple, baby.
Legends of the Hidden Temples spin-off series.
What if it was called the Boner Temple? What was it called that?
About to have the hardest.
That's a little
right
on
now.
the nose, I think. But yeah, anyways, the trailer, I watched like 30 seconds of it and was like, I'm out because I'm so into the movie.
I mean, you got Aaron Taylor Johnson and Ray Fiennes.
Yep,
is in it. And
there's a couple other names in there.
Yeah,
I'm just gonna go in as blind as I possibly can.
Look like Last of Us for a second because he has a bow and arrow.
Yeah, exactly. So anyways, that's pretty cool. That's gonna be exciting. So 2 upcoming interesting movies had trailers just dropped this week. And then my discussion I had was I wanted to get your take, Joseph, on movie tropes that you're tired of. I found a discussion on Reddit that has some really interesting, very ultra modern ones. There's things that bother me for trope wise, like one thing that I really do love is when a character is saying, "No way, I'm not going on the helicopter. You can't pay me enough to get on the helicopter. Not happening." Smash cut, they're on the helicopter. It cracks me up every time. I don't know why that gets me. It's so dumb. It's so tropey. So that's one that works for me.
Mm-hmm.
I think like a trope that really doesn't work for me. Let's see. I know it's for continuity. It's more for like brevity and editing purposes, but I hate when people pick up the phone and just start talking. I hate when people like end the conversation and don't say anything. It's like, I'd rather them just cut to the next scene without having them put the phone down if they were going to do that.
Yeah.
But that irritates the shit out of me for some reason, and I don't know. It's such a small thing.
Like they don't begin or end a conversation properly.
Correct. Yeah. It instantly makes me feel like, oh, I'm in a movie. But
yeah.
Bigger version though, 555. Fucking hate it. The 555 phone numbers.
Oh yeah.
That's the worst, absolute worst, and we'll talk about that in Paul Blart.
Oh yes, 555. Oh, that reminds me of Dumb and Dumber. When he's at the gas station and he's like, "Just tell me the number, I'll remember it." and his foot's on fire, and
give me the fucking number.
She goes 555, and he goes 555, and he's like on fire.
Yeah,
that's what's happening. Which is, she must be dumb as well, because how do you not see that he's on fire?
Yeah, for real.
I guess similar to that in terms of tropes is like. It's like it's like a couple setting up a date or a first date or something, and neither of them exchange information as to what time they're going to get picked up.
Yeah.
Or
how about Friday night?
Okay.
All right, we'll see you there.
Oh, all right. That's it.
You know the spot and time.
You know. I mean, they're leaving it up to us. They're like, oh, they went through the semantics after that we didn't see of like the time and pickup and stuff like that. It's like kind of almost a lot of that kind of stuff that bothers me. I mean, it doesn't like bother me. It just is annoying sometimes. I don't get too hung up on that kind of stuff. It's kind of hard for me to think of specific tropes in movies. I think there's a lot of like Marvel jokes but it's more like just the type of writing for the comedy that they and the delivery of the jokes.
Give me an example. Like you're just talking about like a shitty joke from a villain.
It's more just like it's hard for me to think of like or pinpoint an exact example, but it's more like I guess something like I'm trying to like just like come up with something in my head like an exaggerated version of it of.
Well, you think of that, I got some tropes. These are from the if you're not on subscribing to Reddit movies subreddit, there's a lot of junk in there, a lot of like really terrible takes and stuff. But then there's some pretty fun discussions, which makes me start thinking. And this is one of them. It's like, what's a modern film take that irritates you? Not killing the villain when the opportunity presents itself and the reasons are solid. It just pads the tension in the runtime. It's so frustrating when you see somebody and you're like, this person murdered 100 people, and they're going to give them the benefit of the doubt. But then again, when Anakin did it, he turned into a Sith, so maybe it's justified to not kill the villain.
Yeah, I think it's like, another one that actually that bothers me a lot is when it's like an action movie and there's that kind of like you have the two rivalry, like they're not rivals like enemies in the movie, but it's like you have a man and a woman and they like don't get along, right?
Okay,
and it's like there's like some tension there.
Oh, like professional rivals, kind of
like sexual tension.
Yeah, they're kind of on the same team, but they hate each other.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
They really just want to take it to the bone temple.
Yeah, and eventually, the story unravels, and they get to the point in the story where it's like there's, it's obvious they're starting to like one of them is starting to come around on the other one.
Come around or come off.
Yeah, and then, exactly.
Come in.
And then there's like a time sensitive situation happening, and then they decide to like go in for a kiss. I'm like, there's no fucking time for this right now.
Yeah, yeah, that's pretty bad.
There's no time to confess your love to each other right now.
But if not, then when? What if they died?
What's more important?
I've always loved you.
If the stakes are like this bus full of kids is gonna die, I gotta make sure I get a kiss in.
All right, here's another one. Conflicts between because of obviously poor communication or patience, like hugging another girl and the wife sees him, but it turns out it's just his sister. Mm-hmm. And the first person says, I can explain, and the other person just walks away instead of spending 30 seconds listening to the person.
Yeah.
I hate that. It's such bad writing too.
Yeah. The one person assumes something is happening.
Yeah.
When it didn't happen at all.
When a literal single sentence could explain it. It would be different if the person had like lost all credulity, like they have no faith in what they say anymore. They've lied the entire movie. And then all of a sudden they're trying to say, oh, that was actually my sister. Oh, I got hit by a car. It's like Big Fat Liar. It would be different if they set that up in the movie. And then they said, "Oh, it's just my sister." Yeah, I'll believe that when the pigs fly or whatever.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it's like relationship comedies and relationship dramas. It's a lot of the plot hangs on that really shitty, convenient misunderstanding.
Yeah, and it's one person just like not willing to hear the other person, and when it's like in reality, it doesn't happen like that. I mean, I know. You have to suspend your disbelief for these kinds of things. But it's like, I don't know, a simple explanation would just clear everything up and there would be no conflict.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Thus, there would be no movie.
Yeah. A lot of this boils down to just, why are they doing this? Well, we wouldn't have a movie if otherwise.
Yeah.
But you could do better in the writing realm to make it make more sense.
Make it more believable.
Here's another one. Villains from children movies like 101 Dalmatians, requiring an entire prequel movie to show how misunderstood the villain is.
Oh, yeah.
Like Cruella.
Yeah. When they made the first one, the 101 Dalmatians, there was no like, well, in like 30 years, there's going to be a prequel that's going to explain her actual intentions and how she got to be how she is. When in reality, it's like that wasn't the plan at all. They just made a person who's not a good person.
I know. They're like, wow, she wants to skin 101 puppies to make a coat for herself.
Yeah.
That's about as scummy as it gets. And like, genocide.
Yeah.
It's like basically puppy genocide.
When like nowadays, like you know, a compelling villain, like I don't know, like a Thanos or something, where it's like his motives are like, you know, bring balance to the universe, you know, and we have to get rid of half of existence to do that. It's like the intentions are like, well, maybe he's kind of making some sense here, but obviously the method to get to that point is all this half of existence has to die. It's like that's what makes it a bad thing. If someone is just a bad person, and then they're also racist or something.
Yeah, that's always funny to me that there's always a line there. Like the villain can't also be racist or can't also like abuse animals. Or something like that. That's a line too far.
It's like,
I murdered 100 people, but I can't use the N-word.
Yeah, I draw the line.
See, Tyler can only do one of those things.
Yeah, at a time.
Yeah.
I draw the line at ableism. Okay, I have a relative actually.
The Penguin though is the exception to that. Have you seen the series yet?
No.
It's really great. I have to say, it's really fantastic. And the whole time you're basically seeing this backstory, how he's like a sympathetic villain, and yes, he's misunderstood, and yes, he's got like a crook with a heart of gold, sort of a thing.
Yeah.
But the way the whole thing wraps up, you're like, I mean, how are they going to tie this together? Do you want us to root for the Penguin? And then ultimately, you're like, nope.
Oh, I see.
No, you don't. By the end, they do a fucking fantastic job of it.
He commits a hate crime.
Exactly. He uses the N-word.
Oh, God.
But then, like you said, the villain who is misunderstood, or you see the reasoning behind their intentions. Thanos is a good example, but also Ed Harris from The Rock. He's basically like a mercenary. He was a soldier whose government abandoned him and his troops. And
Yeah.
He's like, I just want them to be remembered. He never had any intentions of killing the people.
Yeah.
It's the guys that he hired for the job that did. So it really, he plays that part so fucking well.
Yeah, their justification for doing what they're doing is understandable, but obviously what they're doing is not necessarily a good thing. I mean, we have a real life person that's going through it right now.
Yeah.
But
any other ones you can think of?
Tropes?
Yeah. That irritate you? It doesn't have to be something modern.
I mean, it's hard to think of any, to be honest, because I don't. It's like something that you see a lot, but you don't necessarily think about. A lot, at least I don't like that much.
You don't put it in your pocket to save for later.
Yeah.
Where the protagonist sees a bad guy, clear as day across a busy street, and then a bus goes by and the villain mysteriously disappears completely.
Yeah,
that's always fun. I like that one. I think it's fun.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I know what you're talking about. I mean, the classic comedy one is like someone just is. They're arguing with somebody, and like in Mean Girls when she gets hit by the bus.
Yeah,
that happens. I feel like, I mean, not Talented Mr. Ripley. The one with Brad Pitt, Meet Joe Black.
Oh yeah, Meet Joe Black.
I feel like
Mean Girls.
And then Scary Movie,
Final Destination.
Yeah. In Paul Blart, there's a lot. At least there's one when like he's the dopey security guard, and he sees the hot booth worker.
Yeah, and
he's like on his Segway, and like when me and Deanna were watching it, I know we're kind of getting into the movie now, but just a little foreshadow or preview. When he's like ogling her on a Segway,
you know he's gonna hit something,
and I'm like Deanna, he's gonna run into a fountain, pole.
I thought it was a fountain too,
or something.
I thought it was gonna be a fountain.
And it's like, because it's like you're just focusing on him. He's moving.
Yeah.
In a mall with people. Yeah, he's gonna crash into a crowd of people or something. His boss. And
it's the shot editing and the shot composition.
Yeah,
it's almost like
when tracking him
when you're watching a person in a driving, having a conversation in a car, and then the camera angle gets to a very specific angle and camera shot, and you're like,
something's gonna happen here.
I think they're gonna get T-boned. I think they're gonna get crashed into right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That happened. I mean, driving scenes in movies where like
this.
Yeah. I mean, the coffee cups thing where it's like there's nothing in the cup, and you can see how like there's no weight to it.
Yeah.
You know, in cups and stuff.
Mine's always been, I mean, I've said it to death though, car stuff. Burning out in gravel. Oh, it's so stupid.
Like the sound?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You can't burn out unless it's like asphalt or concrete or pavement or something like that. Like
You would just be shooting gravel.
you would be spinning. Yeah, the debris would be flying out from. It wouldn't be making the noise of the burnout.
Yeah.
I hate that.
Not really a trope, but like bad ADR.
Oh god,
in movies.
That's rough.
One of the worst. It's funny. One of the worst versions of ADR is like in a movie. Is like in one of my favorite movies, and that we reviewed, Children of Men. There's one scene when he goes on the bus with Julianne Moore, and there's like one small segment where the ADR is like god awful.
Really?
Yeah, it's really bad.
Interesting.
And I live with that.
It's a single stain on a perfect, blameless lamb.
I know.
No, that's all I got, though. Listeners, if you have any like tropes that really irritate you, please send them in. mcfcpodcast@gmail.com. You can also go on the Facebook page.
Yeah.
Comment on one of our posts. Comment on this week's post. Hit us up on Twitter. Whatever you like.
Yeah.
What do you got?
I don't really have any news, but I brought a game which I don't recall if we've played it on here before.
Okay.
I feel like we have. There's no name for it, but basically what's going to happen is one of us we're going to start with a movie title.
Okay.
Well, one of us will name a movie.
Okay.
The next person has to name an actor from that movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then the next person has to name a different movie with that actor in it. And then it goes back to naming a different actor from that movie that was just named.
So it's like actor, movie, actor, movie, actor, movie.
Yes, but you can't just say the same actor in the same movie over and over again.
Now, the inherent problem with not having Tyler here is that when we do this, everything I'm going to name is a movie. Everything you name is going to be an actor.
Yeah, so it's just the same thing over and over again.
And we'll switch off. I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
What's the goal?
Just go to go as long as possible.
I'm going to try to stump you.
I mean, it's not... It's...
I'm going to be like... I'm going to name a 1960s movie that, one actor in.
But
Aubrey Hepburn, and then I'll name another 1960s movie that she's in, and you couldn't tell another one. Another actor from it.
I mean, you can try.
I won't do that. I won't do that.
There was another game we talked about off air last week that we kind of got with the Mind Meld game where we try to land on the same movie, which we did end up doing. It took a minute.
We can do that one if you want. I mean, you could do it whatever you want.
Let's start with this first one.
All right, let's do it.
So go ahead, name a movie. It's got to be fast.
Children of Men.
Children of Men. Clive Owen.
Shoot 'em up.
Monica Bellucci.
Beetlejuice.
Jenna Ortega.
Jenna Ortega. I had it blanking on everything she's ever been in. That A24 unicorn movie.
That's coming out?
It's coming out. That hasn't come out yet.
I don't even know anybody else that's in that movie.
What else? What other movies has Jenna Ortega been in?
Wasn't she in a Scream movie?
Oh, fuck yeah. I like Scream 6.
I also don't know who else is in that.
Jack Quaid. All right, so we failed there. Okay.
Yeah, we suck.
So that was good. That was five in a row, 6 in a row. So go ahead and name a movie.
Name a movie.
I like the pace though. Keep it fast paced.
Titanic.
Kate Winslet.
Revolutionary Road.
I have never heard of that movie. All right, start again. Do Titanic. Leonardo DiCaprio.
Revolutionary Road.
What? You son of a bitch. All right, Titanic.
You're Titanic?
No, you say Titanic.
Titanic.
Billy Zane.
The Phantom.
Fuck. I don't know anybody on that movie. What are you doing? I thought we were supposed to make this as long as possible.
Titanic. Just do Leonardo
DiCaprio.
Inception.
Tom Hardy.
Venom.
I haven't seen Venom. You're really good at this. Or maybe I'm really bad at this. Give me something else. I don't know. I've never seen Venom. Bronson? Fuck. Maybe Stephen Graham?
No.
I don't. I couldn't tell you a single person. That's one of those movies.
Lawless.
Shia LaBeouf.
Honey Boy.
Jacob Tremblay? Is that who that is that plays this kid?
No. Who plays the older version of that kid?
Oh fuck! I couldn't tell you his name. Aaron Taylor Johnson.
I thought we were supposed to know movies.
I know. Who is that guy?
Lucas Hedges.
That's it. I can never remember his name. I think I think of like garden instead of hedges.
Oh, okay.
Lucas Garden.
All right, name a movie.
There Will Be Blood.
Obviously, I know one person who's in it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of other people who are in it. But I can't think of their names. Daniel Day-Lewis.
Okay. Let's do Daniel Day-Lewis. Last of the Mohicans.
Shit.
That's a tough one. Yeah.
Especially if you haven't seen it.
Yeah. David Midthunder's in it.
Who's his brother in There Will Be Blood? Or he's a legend?
Ooh, I never remember his name.
Benny.
Yeah, Benny, whatever his name is. There's also Paul Dano.
Oh, yeah, Paul Dano.
There's also who else is in that? I don't think there's any other named actors I can think of from that movie. It's weird when you have such a big, well-known movie and you can only name 2 people from it.
Yeah, because
off the top of your head.
Okay.
These are good stumpers.
Yeah. I'll go easy. Dune Part 1.
Oh wow, what an ensemble cast.
Yeah.
Okay, Dune Part 1. How about Oscar Isaac?
The Card Counter.
Card Counter. Okay. Willem Dafoe.
Spider-Man.
The first one?
Yeah.
Kirsten Dunst.
Bring It On.
Ooh, Gabrielle Union.
Ooh.
Be very careful what you say next. Gabrielle Union.
I'm just like, I don't know. I would just be like assuming movies that she would
I
be
know.
in.
I would if it was my pick, I'd pick Neo Ned, that Nazi movie.
Oh, is she in that?
She's the female lead.
Oh,
She's the
okay.
romantic lead against.
I've definitely. I want to. Not White Chicks. She's not in White Chicks.
I've only seen half of that with Brianna.
Really?
Yeah.
I
feel like she's in Girls Trip. Like what?
Is she?
It's like a spin-off of Barbershop or something like that.
Girls Trip.
I think so. I think that's the name of it.
I'm just gonna look up Gabrielle Union.
Okay.
I feel like she's in like TV shows. Oh, Bad Boys.
Oh yeah, he's what's the name? Daughter. No, my sister. Martin Lawrence's sister.
Yeah, Bad Boys.
Yeah. This game's hard with 2 people.
Okay, Bad Boys.
Oh, Bad Boys?
Yeah.
Okay. The original one, I guess I'll just go with Will Smith.
Men in Black.
Tommy Lee Jones.
No Country for Old Men.
Josh Brolin.
Doom Part 1.
Let's go Stellan Skarsgård.
The girl with the dragon tattoo.
Daniel Craig.
Casino Royale.
Casino Royale. Mads Mikkelsen.
There's a lot of foreign movies there.
Yeah. That's a bad pick for me.
No. Rogue One.
Oh yeah, I forgot that's him. Rogue One. Forrest Whitaker.
Ooh. Forrest Whitaker. Oh, Arrival.
Neo Ned.
What?
Oh, sorry, Jeremy Renner.
I
made 2 jumps. Yeah, he was the other one.
Jeremy Renner.
Jeremy Renner. Yeah.
Hurt Locker.
Oh, Anthony Mackie.
What's that Christmas movie? Office Party? No. Is that what it's called?
The Last Night.
Oh, The Night Before?
Night Before. That's it. Night Before. Okay. Seth Rogen.
Knocked Up.
And Katherine Heigl.
She's in.
It's a lot harder to get a long run than I was expecting. I was expecting this was going to be easier.
Just back and forth. Not the bounty hunter. That's Jennifer Aniston. It's another one with Gerard Butler.
Yeah, I know. I know what you're thinking of. It's about he's a news broadcaster or something like that, or like a Daily Show or something.
Yeah. What the fuck is that name? Gerard Depardieu.
Found out today that we're actually not movie fans.
No, we're not. I guess not. We are failures. The Ugly Truth.
Yeah.
That's the name of that movie. Gerard Butler, 300.
Okay. Oh gosh, what's his name? Let's go Lena Headey.
Oh, Lena Headey. What? I don't know if I've seen her in any movies.
Alex Garland directed one unofficially.
Oh yeah, Dread.
Let's go with Domhnall Gleeson.
Ooh. Is he in Force Awakens?
He's in a bunch of those, yeah.
Yeah. Is he in Force?
I think so.
Okay.
Yeah, I think so. Let's end this right here. Daisy Ridley. Good luck.
She was in one recently.
Sure, but name it. Every movie I feel like she's been in since then have been super like non-memorable.
It's like one. It's like I'm really sad movie.
That's what it's called, yeah, actually. I'm really sad, the movie.
Daisy Ridley. What the fuck was it? It was like The Marsh King's Daughter. That's one. Murder on the Orient Express. I guess I could have just went back to Star Wars.
Yeah.
Peter Rabbit.
Okay. I'll take your word on it.
Peter Rabbit. Yeah.
Man, we next time we play this, we need to have Tyler here.
Yeah. I think we did play it once, and we always got stuck on him.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I think what we did was we picked an artist or an actor, and then we named their catalog, like movies from their catalog.
Maybe.
I mean, it's been 5 years. We very well could have played both versions of that game.
Yeah, I wanted to do a game. It would take a little bit of work though. It was like almost like an identify that movie game based on like an obscure screenshot.
Oh yeah, like Framed, basically.
Yeah, kind of like Framed, which I haven't done in a long time. I just realized.
Yeah, I stopped playing a long time ago.
I was too many sweats.
It was more. Yeah, it got too competitive. No, I just felt like I had to, like I had my daily Wordle and my daily Frame, and I'm like, if I don't do these, my day's not complete. And then I mentally started suffering from it.
Maybe we should do it right now. Just pull it up.
Sure, let's do the Framed. Why not?
Framed. Farmed? Let's go to
of RAMD.
Frame?
Yeah.
Is it Framed?
Yeah.
Framed. What?
A daily movie guessing game.
What the fuck? Okay, hold on.
Okay, yeah. We got to get this on this.
Let's get this. Let's turn this off. Let's do
Yep,
window capture, Google Chrome.
There it is.
Boom. And then we'll just cut to that. All right. What is this movie?
You can center that a little bit.
Where?
On the actual thing. Crop it.
Oh, on this?
Yeah.
Yeah, figure it out while I do this.
Okay, so I'm going to take a guess. It's a finger ringing a doorbell. Finger ringing a doorbell. Finger ringing a doorbell.
Oh my God, what's going on here? Oh, it's ads. That's what's happening.
Don't knock. That's what I'm going to guess.
Don't knock? She's ringing the doorbell, though.
Yeah, they don't knock. They ring the doorbell.
Very good. Don't. Is that what it's called? The movie? It's not on here.
Maybe it's Knock Knock.
Knock Knock.
The one with Leonardo. I mean,
Keanu Reeves.
Yeah, Keanu Reeves.
Not on here. Oh wait, should I just do it anyway?
No. Why don't you guess one?
Lord of the Rings. No.
That finger looks mighty smooth.
They had doorbells back then.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, back then in Lord of the Rings time.
And Phillips had screwdrivers in Star Wars times too.
That's a dirty ass fingernail.
Is it? I think it's just a shadow.
Perfect Host. It's a white.
Perfect Host.
Perfect Host?
Yeah.
I don't even know what that is. Not on here.
Damn, dude.
Let's just say it's The Perfection.
Okay.
What if it was? Oh, that's okay. That's easy.
What is that? Oh, it's Kill Bill Volume 2. No.
Volume. No, it is 2.
I think it's 2, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Is it 2?
Yeah, it has to be. No.
When is...
Do one.
Okay, let's do one.
He gonna do one. Oh, so you got it.
We got
That was number one.
it.
Sweet.
Hooray. What were the... Okay, that would have been obvious.
Wow. Framed. I feel like you're not even trying anymore.
What is it?
Yeah, what movie could it be? It's Oren Ishii.
Oh, this was cool.
Yeah, that's fun.
Let's just keep doing Framed.
Yeah.
For the rest of the show.
Yeah, yesterday's episode. Yesterday's puzzle.
Oh, don't look at that.
Yeah.
Nobody look at that.
Hey, look, it's us.
Nobody's watching. Okay.
Yeah, that was fun.
All right, let's get into some stream picks now.
Oh my gosh, you sprung that on me real quick.
Come on now.
Movies.
Wanna watch a movie?
Yes, I do.
Disney Plus. Oh, HBO Max.
If I don't get the pick, show's over.
I have grown accustomed to Hulu Plus.
Amazon Prime.
I like Netflix.
You found the pick.
Stream picks, movies that we watched on our streaming services so that you can watch or not watch whatever you want as well. Pete.
I'm gonna say you should watch all the movies that I watched this week.
Okay.
They're all good. The first one is it's a Christmas Carol. It's a version of A Christmas Carol, the classic Charles Dickens story with Ebenezer Scrooge and Bob
Cratchit.
Cratchit, yeah, Bob Cratchit, Tiny Tim, and the rest.
Tiny Tim Cratchit.
Yeah, and
Rizzo.
and yeah, Rizzo the Rat. Michael Caine's there as well.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows who he plays? And then the Ghosts of Christmas, Past, Present, and Future.
Yeah.
But huge point of contention in the trivia community. How many ghosts visit Ebenezer Scrooge on that fateful night?
Well, you have the first ghost who announces that he's going to get visited by 3 ghosts.
Yes, there's 4 officially. Yeah. But depending on who's running the trivia night that night, I've heard it 3 and 4.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, in the Muppets, there's 5. Says you have the 2 guys. You have the critics.
Yeah, Chandler and Waldorf.
Yeah,
that's so funny. So in this version, it's called if you're looking it up on IMDb or Letterboxd, it's called FX's A Christmas Carol because it's made by FX and it was a 4-part miniseries.
Oh,
4 episodes. You can watch it though on Hulu straight through, and it's like 2 hours and 45 minutes long or something crazy like that.
Of A Christmas Carol.
Yeah, because it's 4 episodes.
Is each episode a ghost?
You'd like to think so.
Oh, okay.
Maybe it is. I don't know. I don't think so though. I think they put 2 into 1 at some point. But yeah, if it's, I'm trying to see how long it shows on here. If it actually shows the length of it as one's continuous thing, because I want to say it was like 2 hours and 40 minutes or almost 3 hours or something.
Mm-hmm.
But here, listen to the cast on this: Guy Pearce as Ebenezer Scrooge, Andy Serkis as the Ghost of Christmas Past,
Wow.
Stephen Graham, the aforementioned, as Jacob Marley, Joe Alwyn, don't know him, Jason Fleming is in it, Johnny Harris, Kevin Novak, Callum Evans, a lot of people you'd recognize and may not know their name, but this is a very dark and gruesome version.
Oh,
There's
like scary kind of?
Yes, this is a gothic horror version. And I don't know if this is more true to the original story, Dickens' story or not, but when you think of Ebenezer Scrooge and like the Muppets Christmas Carol, because that's the one that I always go back to, you're like, oh, he's kind of a dick. But he doesn't deserve to like die or
Scrooge?
whatever. Yeah, Scrooge.
Yeah, he's just a greedy
He's
asshole.
just a greedy dickhead, and makes people work on Christmas Eve. It's like, I got to work on Christmas Eve. All my people at work got to work on Christmas Eve. It's like that far fetched to work on Christmas Eve anymore.
No, I mean you might get a half day.
Yeah, exactly. Well, probably might be a half day.
But he does ask them to come in on Christmas.
He does. So that's the extent of it. In this version, it shows the gritty and gruesome details of how the budget cuts that Scrooge and Marley, as a business partner duo, their budget cuts of cutting down on timber in the mines that they own led to a collapse and death of dozens of people, dozens of ponies.
Okay.
And the mourning of the deaths of these children working in the mines and women and families crumbled because of them, and they faced no repercussions. At one point, Andy Serkis's Marley, Jacob Marley, is in hell. He's in hell.
He's in hell.
And he's shackled with the chain, which he's classically, shackled with chains.
Yeah.
And the Grim Reaper, the Satan or whatever, basically goes,
Satan.
He says, he's like, every link on the chain is a soul that you cursed during your life. And you're like, fuck me, man, that's rough.
Damn.
Like, there's a scene when he appears to him for the first time where he's missing a jaw. Like, Ebenezer Scrooge finds this loose, disembodied human jaw on the ground of his chamber, and he picks it up and is like, oh, shit. And then the ghost puts it back into his mouth. His tongue's flopping around. He, like, puts it back up into his skull.
Is this a live action?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
It's really, really intense.
Welcome to Ultra Hell.
Yeah, exactly. So, this is a really, really good take on it. So, like, if Muppets Christmas Carol is like the
wholesome,
lawful, good, wholesome, warm and fuzzy version, this is
the opposite.
Fucking way opposite. It's really good.
Oh. And Jim Carrey's the unhinged sort of version of it.
That's the one if you have schizophrenia, if you watch that.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can watch that.
Although Scrooged is also pretty unhinged.
Yeah, Scrooge is pretty good. And he's more of a shithead. He like cheats on his wife or girlfriend or whatever, and like maybe he's fooling around.
It sounds
with
like
other
this version of the
Christmas Carol.
the FX version of Christmas Carol. Who plays Scrooge?
Guy Pearce.
Oh, Guy Pearce.
Yeah.
Did they put him in old makeup again?
No.
Okay.
No. He's the same age the whole time.
So he's he's responsible essentially for multiple deaths in a mine.
Multiple deaths.
Damn.
And it's implied that he was molested as a child.
Oh my God.
Like repeatedly, systematically. But there was a bartered deal from his father. Like he basically pimped his son out as like a 10-year-old to the boarding house that he basically stayed in for free boarding. He basically said, oh yeah, make my kid stay here because I don't want to deal with him. And by the way, go ahead and rape him a bunch so that I don't have to pay. And it's like that the whole thing is laid out. So much like we were talking about how Cruella got a backstory and made her, understandable. It's like that's his backstory. He's such a piece of shit because he was systematically abused as a child. And it's like, it's really dark. I mean, it gets even darker than that too.
Jesus.
Yeah. So Tiny Tim is played by an actual disabled child.
Oh.
Yeah. So it's like, I've seen him in other stuff before. He looks like he might just have dwarfism, but it could be something else along with it. I know sometimes with like hyperdwarfism where they're very, very small, there's some medical ailments. I learned about it in this documentary we watched called Tiptoes. But this kid is an actor and he plays a lot of similar parts, but having Tiny Tim as a actually disabled child was effective, and he does not do well in the movie.
Oh, you got Stephen Graham in there as well.
Yes, it's a great cast, and it's so brooding and dark. The visions are actually terrifying.
Oh yeah, I've seen this kid too.
Yeah,
Lenny Rush is his name.
That's a name. Yeah, so it's really good. I highly recommend people. I mean, obviously, don't put this on Christmas morning to like have a fun Christmas day.
It's very cheerful.
Yeah, but maybe that's the tone you want on Christmas Day. Who knows? Different strokes for different folks.
Yeah.
But Brianna wanted to watch a gothic horror, and we were just stumbling around through Hulu, and she found that, and she's like, 3 hours long. All right, I'll watch it. And yeah, it was really good. I watched it along with her. I had to leave the room for a little bit, so I missed a little bit in the middle.
It was too much for you.
Yeah. I had to leave. I had to go cry. Excuse myself for a cry. Let's see how long it actually is.
There's actually, I just pulled it up on each episode is 43 minutes.
Okay.
On IMDb, it lists 43 minutes. It doesn't say the total runtime. Let's see.
2 hours, 52 minutes.
Okay. So yeah, nearly 3 hours.
Yeah.
There is a Patrick Stewart Christmas Carol as well.
Yeah, I've heard that. I've heard about that.
And it's got a 7.4 out of 10. So it's got Patrick Stewart, Richard E. Grant,
cool.
Joel Grey, Ian McNeice. Yeah.
Well, don't watch that one. Watch the FX one.
It's a lot of Christmas carols.
Yeah, exactly. It took me forever to find it on Letterboxd. I'm like, well, I guess they're not going to let me log it because it's a miniseries. But then it's listed as FX's. I had to go into search Guy Pearce, and find it that way.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so my next streaming pick is from 2010, a movie very early on in Jennifer Lawrence's career, which basically got a lot of people to notice her as a fantastic actor. Winter's Bone.
More like Winter's Boner. You know what I'm saying?
Winter's Bone Temple. Streaming on Fubo, Canopy, Paramount Plus, and Plex. We watched it on Paramount Plus, and this is a very cold movie.
Winter.
You would imagine. I don't know what the name means. They don't really talk about it. They don't like reference it.
It truly is a winter's bone.
Yeah, they don't do that.
It's not like a murder mystery type of movie.
So I'll read the synopsis because I didn't know anything about it going in. I went in blind, and it was good. I don't think that knowing the plot will make it any worse, though. After discovering her father put their house up for his bail bond and then disappeared, a 17-year-old Ree, R-E-E, Ree Dolly must confront the local criminal underworld and the harsh Ozark wilderness in order to track down her father and save her family. So this is set in the Ozarks. It's a modern movie, and it's a good portrayal of the depressed and rundown society and culture within the Ozarks.
Mm-hmm.
People living in the mountains, parents abandoning children, multiple children in the house. They're just living in a house that they built with their own hands in the mountains, freezing. Everybody's got Carhartts and flannel shirts, and everybody's got livestock that they're shooting squirrels and eating them. You know, it's a brutal kind of like, it almost feels like one step before the road, maybe two steps before the road. They're out there just raw dogging life. And Jennifer Lawrence's character, her name is Ree. Character's Ree. She's got two young siblings. Her mom is basically, I don't know if she had like a mental breakdown or like fried her brain with drugs or something like that. But she's basically, she can feed herself and walk around and stuff like that, but she doesn't talk, and she's kind of in a catatonic sort of state. And her dad is a meth cook, criminal, in and out of jail, and the lawman played by Garrett Dillahunt comes over and is like, "Hey, your dad's out on bail. Did you hear?" Like, I don't give a fuck. Why are you telling me? Well, he put your house up for the bond, which means if he skips this court hearing, we got to come take the house. And it's just a fucking shack with three kids in it and a basically paralyzed mom. And they're like, "So your dad better make this court hearing because you guys are going to be homeless. You're going to be living out in the mountain." And she's like, "Well, what the fuck? How's that fair?" Like, it's his house. Even though you live here, it's his house. So it's his right to put that up for bond. And the entire mission is her trying to find her deadbeat dad and basically make sure he makes his court case. And it gets nefarious. It gets into some dark areas. So
yeah,
this also has John Hawkes' second build on it. He's always great. Dale Dickey's in it. She's the tweaker meth head from Breaking Bad with the ATM.
Yeah.
Isaiah Stone, Lauren Sweetster, Ashley Thompson, Valerie Richards. And there's a lot of people in this that are locals. They don't have IMDb credits. They don't have IMDb photos. They're just locals. And it's a really, I don't know how accurate it is, but man, it feels pretty authentic. The kind of depressed nature of that life.
Yeah.
So that's Winter's Bone. It is streaming again on Fubo, Canopy, Paramount Plus, and Plex. And Jennifer Lawrence, I can understand why she kept getting work after this, because she's phenomenal. She's holding her own with John Hawkes and some like really well-established and well-known actors, and just feels right at home. And then my last one is Carry On. You want to talk about that one together?
Sure. Yeah.
Then we could do that together, and then you could do yours.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay, Carry On from 2024. This is a new Netflix movie. It is directed by Jean Collet-Serra, who also directed Black Adam, Orphan, House of Wax, Jungle Cruise, The Shallows, The Commuter, and Nonstop.
Actiony movies,
and Jungle Cruise, which I guess is also pretty actiony.
Yeah.
So this is starring Taron Egerton.
Yeah.
Sophia Carson, Daniel Deadweiler, Theo Rossi, Logan Marshall Green.
Hello, Bruce.
Dean Norris. Hey, what's up, Bruce?
Welcome to the chat.
Cinqua Walls, Jason Bateman, and a couple other people you might recognize. So every holiday season, millions travel safely by air. This Christmas will be different. An airport security officer races to outsmart a mysterious traveler, forcing him to let a dangerous item slip onto a Christmas Eve flight. It's a Netflix original, I think.
Straight to Netflix,
whatever. And it's a thriller action holiday.
Yeah, mostly thriller with like a surge of action in like one specific scene, I think.
Like a suspense thriller or like a bottle thriller sort of thing, because it all takes place in an airport and then under an airport.
Yeah.
And then on the tarmac of the airport.
Yeah. And then in an airplane.
Yeah. And I feel like this is like a cross between Die Hard and The Rock in the sense, with a little bit of, because he's working. What was the other one? It was there was another movie that reminded me of this where he's being held. Oh, Grand Piano. It's I want to say it's a Danny Boyle movie also, where Elijah Wood is a concert pianist, and John Cusack basically says, "I'm a sniper. I'm up in the eaves. You got to do what I say." While he's playing the piano, and he's like in his ear saying what he has to do or something like that.
I've never heard of this movie.
It's weird. I've streamed a picture like 4 years ago.
2013.
It's a small movie, but
basically
this terrorist is in Taron Egerton's ear in an ill earpiece.
Yeah.
And he's working the X-ray conveyor belt, and he basically says, if you don't let this package through onto the plane, I'm going to kill your wife or your soon-to-be wife or whatever.
Yeah.
And that's the plot of the whole movie. What do you do after that, and what happens?
Yeah. How do you go from there?
Yeah.
It honestly, it reminded me a lot of like Die Hard is obvious comparison, I think.
Yeah.
But also Phone Booth.
Yeah. That's a good one.
Where it just happens to be, I think in Phone Booth, it was targeted for Colin Farrell's character, almost like a Jigsaw type of thing. And then it sounds like in Grand Piano, it sounds like he was targeting Elijah Wood specifically.
Yeah, there was a treasure or something that I can't even remember this exactly.
But in this, Taron Egerton's character ends up being he wasn't supposed to be the target.
Yeah, they had somebody else in mind, and he stepped in because he wanted to get a promotion, so he asked to go on the conveyor instead of wherever else he was going to go.
Yeah, and we have Zack Schrader as his boss.
Mm-hmm.
And
Dean Norris.
Dean Norris himself. This movie was like, it was compelling.
Yeah.
Like, it was engaging a lot. I think definitely in the first 2/3. I think the last act kind of fell off just a little bit, but it was still like kind of like tense and exciting. And I liked Jason Bateman. I liked his character quite a bit. He was just kind of like an unassuming, like evil guy, I guess.
Yeah.
Almost like a third party.
It's like a gun for hire.
Yeah, he's just like a mercenary. He just does stuff for money, even if it is at the cost of, hundreds of lives. And I feel like the plot was simple enough.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like heavy lifting whatsoever. It wasn't confusing. It wasn't convoluted, or complicated for the sake of being like complicated, or trying to be higher than thou. It was just kind of like a dumb, fun kind of thriller movie, and I had a good time with it.
Yeah, it was entertaining.
Yeah,
kept me engaged. I personally like Edgerton. I think he's good.
Yeah,
I think a lot of people just don't particularly care for him. I think he gets lumped in with Ansel Elgort. They both kind of came around at the same time and got weird names, and people seem to not like him for some reason.
I think it's like, I feel like he wants to be like a serious actor, but something about his like personality, and I think it's probably part of it is from the Kingsman movies.
Yeah,
is that he was just he was in that movie, and his role was like like everybody underestimated him, almost like he was like an underdog, and but he was kind of like comedic in that movie, so it would be kind of hard.
He was like clever. He was like a clever hero.
Yeah, and it was kind of hard to take him. It would be hard to take him seriously in a serious drama or a serious like a James Bond type of role or something.
Sure.
So I feel like this type of movie where like John McClane, he's just kind of like a
every man who gets it done.
Yeah, and he's like
Edgerton was
clever asshole,
He was Eddie the Eagle, and then he also had Kingsman, and then he did Rocket Man.
Yeah,
so it's like three kind of goofy movies. Like there's some action maybe in a little bit and some pathos, but always goofy.
Yeah, and in this movie, he's not like a skilled fighter or anything like that. He's just a TSA agent who has dreams of being a cop.
Yeah, like Paul Blart.
Yeah, and I'm like, That's the goal. You want to be a cop.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'm not really rooting for you, but but there's a little bit more value, I think, in a TSA agent.
You think so?
I mean, I don't know. They're both government.
I think the TSA agents are basically useless. I think something happened a long time ago, pre 9/11.
Yeah.
And like now, all the things that happen are quote unquote supposed to protect us, but is basically just a huge inconvenience to most people.
Yeah.
And is it protecting us? I don't know. I would love to like hear more about like something was thwarted. Hey, all this shit we've been having to do for the last 20 something years, it's working.
Has there been any plane hijacking since 9/11? Because
has there been before?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
I couldn't tell you.
I'm not a historian.
All I know is I can't go to the gate terminal anymore to drop one of my family off.
I mean, unless you go through security.
And no, you can't go without a ticket.
Do you have to have a boarding pass?
Yeah, they won't let you through without a ticket.
I could have sworn they did. I don't know. It could vary on
airport
to airport.
I'm just being a cynical dick.
No, I mean, it's annoying. It's annoying as hell to go through security.
Yeah.
Like, it is.
I want there to be security on the plane. I just want to make sure like what they're doing actually makes sense.
I gotta take my shoes off.
Yeah, what's the point of the shoes? I went through actually 2 airports within the last few years where they didn't require the shoes off.
I've done that once, but it was a really small airport.
And I'm like, oh, fuck.
They're like, no, don't take your shoes off. You can just walk through.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay.
Laptop out or in?
The laptop thing, I'm pretty sure that's a universal thing, at least with major airports.
I've had some where they leave them in the bag.
Really?
It's super weird. So anyways, what would you think overall?
Overall, I mean, I would totally I would watch it again for sure. It was fun. It was dumb. It was engaging. It was thrilling. Jason Bateman was good. I liked their banter. I liked the little hints of Edgerton's character, figuring stuff out. When he first sees him,
the sound of crunching on the ice or whatever,
who he's talking to.
Yeah, that was good.
But it was, it was that thing of of him trying to sneak, the watch, the phone, trying to communicate with somebody.
Yeah.
And that guy, the guy in the van who had access to the cameras.
Yeah.
And he's always seeing it at the right time.
Yes. He's looking right at the watch.
Yeah. And then the first big, when he kills the first guy, the first victim of his actions.
Yeah.
It's you see what happens, Larry?
Yeah, pretty much.
But it was good. I liked it.
Cool. Nice.
It was enjoyable. It wasn't did it change cinema?
Yeah.
No.
Bruce says this is a 3-star banger, and on Cinematics, that's basically a classification for this movie. It's a really great version of it.
Yeah.
It's nothing to write home about. But if you are getting into a movie that's basically this action thriller set inside an airport on Christmas Day or whatever,
Christmas Eve,
yeah, and it's a guy in an earpiece,
yeah,
calling the shots. You're like, okay, I know what kind of movie that is. And this is a great version of it. Maybe the best version of it or close to it, just a high quality version of that. That's a 3-star banger. So
yeah, and then people were saying it on social media. It's better than Die Hard.
Yeah, Joel messaged me and said, "You guys, I hope you guys are talking about. I hope you guys are talking about Carry On this week because everybody's saying or people are saying,
hell yeah,
it's better than Die Hard." I was like, no, I can't imagine that would be the case, and it's definitely not.
I mean, they're both cops. But one is arguably better than
for sure.
the other one for sure.
Yeah.
It's just one is more modern and different setting. Die Hard 2 takes place in an airport. Isn't that around Christmas as well?
I think they're all around Christmas.
Die Hard 3, is that around Christmas? I think that's summertime.
I'll say that the things I liked about it that kind of stood out was it's a really polished looking film because when they show the cell phone screen, it's this CG image, almost and it's kind of moving around with the movement of the phone.
It's a non-diegetic phone screen.
Yes, exactly. That's exactly what it is. And it's
it's for us.
If it was a future movie, that would be everybody would see that, but just for us, for the audience, we see the screen and it's kind of moving with the phone. I thought it was a great effect.
Yeah.
The X-ray machine being able to do what it did, I think was super goofy.
Yeah.
It goes in and you can move things around on the screen. You're like, this is Minority Report shit.
I know. Are they really capable of doing that?
I think Brianna asked me that. She's like, is that how X-ray machines are?
Well, because even when it was just pointing out threat, this is a threat.
It might do something like that. I think it just
Is it that advanced?
I don't know. So that was goofy. Bruce says he was laughing at the laser sight scene with the sniper.
The lasers.
The red dots on her head.
Yeah.
And it's like, just
That's a trope.
yeah, it is. Just tackle her. Just knock her to the ground. Say there's a sniper.
Yeah,
that the threat is to kill his woman,
girlfriend,
and she's here. Just say there's a threat. They're gonna kill you. I'm gonna put you in another room. They have no other leverage here besides you. So or he could say I'm gonna kill a random person.
Yeah,
and then the threat is the same essentially, but has less personal effect. But
I like the reveals of like the other people involved.
Yeah, that was good.
And the plastic gun was kind of an interesting little addition to the whole thing.
Yeah, that was actually pretty sad, the whole like second hostage part of it.
Yeah.
The bag carrier.
Yeah.
So I won't say anything more than that, but there's some good reveals. I wouldn't call them twists per se, but I would say this is a movie that would be great. So if you consider yourself like a movie buff, a movie fan, and you just watch a ton of movies, you listen to movie podcasts or whatever, you're our core audience, basically.
Yeah.
But you want to recommend a movie to someone who may not be as hardcore of a movie fan. They're just very casual and they just want something entertaining on a Friday night. This would be a really safe thing to recommend to somebody.
Yeah.
That's what I think about it.
Yeah. There was one thing. Oh, there's a sequence in a car.
Oh God.
That was like, it looks like conceptually, it looks really cool. Like the shot itself, but it's kind of like a CGI fest. But the shot itself, as it is, like the concept of it is really cool.
Yeah.
It's just like the execution of it. It's like
I simultaneously impressed and also cringing at that scene.
Yeah.
There was some really good stuff for there and some just kind of wonky stuff.
Yeah.
So turn your brain off a little bit and you'll really have fun with it.
You'll have a good time.
Yeah. So let's carry on Netflix. Watch it. Great Christmas movie.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's just as much of a Christmas movie as Die Hard is, right?
Exactly.
Does Die Hard take place on Christmas Eve?
Yeah. They're at the Christmas party.
That's right.
Nakatomi Plaza. All right. That's all I got.
All right, cool. So my stream picks for the week. Start with the worst one that I watched. This is streaming on Netflix. This is The Happy Time Murders.
Oh.
And I was so disappointed to see that Brian Henson directed this.
Really?
Of the Henson family.
That's so weird.
The same director as Muppets Christmas Carol.
It's Jim's son, right?
Yes. I was very, very disappointed. It's almost like they saw how well Team America did, or how much people liked it at least, and like, well, I could do my version of that with my genre of puppetry. And it just doesn't work.
They took all the wrong things away from Team America.
And it's not funny. It's just like raunchy for the sake of being raunchy. Like there's like puppet porn. Like,
I heard there's puppet jism.
Yeah. And but they know that they are puppets and are filled with stuffing and that they don't have any bones or anything.
That's interesting.
They know that they are puppets in the universe of this movie. And Melissa McCarthy is also in it. She plays like a cokehead cop.
What's the human to puppet ratio characters?
I feel like it's mostly puppets. So it's just starring Melissa McCarthy, the humans, Melissa McCarthy, Elizabeth Banks, Maya Rudolph, Michael McDonald, and then the rest are puppets. Jimmy O Yang is in it. And it's like a detective movie. It takes place in LA, and they're just trying to find who is killing all of these puppets who I think were all on this show, like this old show, like similar to the Muppets. And the show was like called The Happy Time something. And all the characters of the cast of that show are being killed off by somebody. And they're just trying to figure out who it is. It's
like a noir, or it's trying to be,
I guess, but it's just like it's just like a high key. It's like a high key comedy. That's basically what it is, with puppets and Melissa McCarthy.
Okay.
And it's just not funny at all. Really,
that's a bummer.
Yeah, I mean the puppetry is puppetry. It's cool to see, but that's not worth your time.
Sure.
So that's streaming on Netflix. don't watch it. Movie that I revisited for the first time in a long time. Streaming on Tubi and Amazon Prime. This is Ready to Rumble.
Oh.
Ready to Rumble, starring David Arquette, Chris Owen, Oliver Platt, Rose McGowan, Joe Pantoliano, actual wrestlers, Bill Goldberg, Sting makes a cameo, John Cena. I don't remember seeing him in there. Booker T is in it at one point. And this is basically about two dudes who work in plumbing, who are huge, like it's like their entire life is wrestling.
Okay.
Like like WWE or WCW in this universe. And one of their favorite wrestlers who is the King, Jimmy the King, he
played by Oliver Platt.
Oliver Platt.
Wow, he's the wrestler. Okay.
Yeah. Have you seen this?
No.
Oh,
I don't know anything about this.
It's a silly little comedy that I've watched as a kid, and it's fun. So like basically Joe Pantoliano plays the like Vince McMahon character, like he's the owner of the WCW.
Got it. Okay.
And Jimmy the King is a wrestler who they are conspiring against to get out of the WCW because he is like the ruling.
Sure.
He's like the fan favorite.
Okay. And
they just want him to get out of there, basically.
All right.
And so they conspire against him in the wrestling match. They actually start, like beating him up in the beginning of the movie. And then Joe Pantoliano comes down and is like, Jimmy the King will never wrestle in the WCW again. And they basically force him to quit or they fire him. And then the two fans, David Arquette and Scott Kahn, they go on a mission to find him, Jimmy the King, and get his redemption.
Okay.
And he goes and trains with Martin Landau, I believe.
Yeah, it's Martin Landau.
And he's like this obviously old man, but he can fight really well.
Okay.
And so he trains the King, who is like an alcoholic, like slob at this point. And he's like from the South, so he's kind of like a dumb hick.
Okay.
A little bit. It's just like a silly, fun comedy, like road trip kind of movie at the same time.
Okay. Who plays the counterpart? David Arquette, and who else are the two plumbers?
Scott Kahn.
Scott
Kahn.
Yeah.
I
like him. The few movies I've seen him in, I like him.
Yeah, and it's definitely like part road trip movie, part like redemption, revenge type movie, because it all culminates into like a cage match at the end for the King, Jimmy the King, to get his belt back.
This is directed by Brian Robbins, who did Good Burger, Varsity Blues, Hardball, The Shaggy Dog, and Norbit.
Interesting collection of movies.
Yeah, and it was written by Stephen Brill, who wrote Mighty Ducks 1 and 2, Heavyweights, D3 again, Little Nicky, and Ready to Rumble.
Oh, nice. Very
weird
comedy writer. Yeah. And I watched a bunch of Christmas movies, National Lampoon's Vacation, White Christmas, How the Grinch, Jingle All the Way.
I hate National Lampoon's Christmas.
It's not the best.
I hate all of them. Chevy Chase, National Lampoon movies, Vacations.
Really?
All those vacation movies, I hate them.
Why? Is it Chevy Chase?
All of it. I don't like any of it.
Really?
None of it.
Why?
Not one bit. It made me laugh.
Oh, just because you don't think it's funny?
No. It's a comedy that's not funny.
I think that of the vacation movie, I haven't seen all of them, but like Vegas Vacation was the one I watched the most, and that one is the funniest one that I've watched.
Vegas Vacation.
Yeah, because he goes to a casino that doesn't exist, but like it's like stupid games where it's like, what's behind my back?
Oh,
or like which hand is the quarter in?
To be fair, I've only seen them when I was a kid, and some of them I haven't even seen all the way through, just because I couldn't stand.
Vacation is the first one, just Vacation, where
National
they go
Lampoon's Vacation,
where they go to like
a movie world or whatever it's called.
Theme park, and then Vegas Vacation is a later one. Christmas Vacation and Vegas Vacation are the better ones in my opinion. Although Christmas Vacation is not. It's not that funny. It's like it's boomer humor for sure.
Yeah.
But it's the other characters that kind of make it funny.
I think Randy Quaid as Cousin Eddie is a great character. I will 100% admit he is a piece of shit. and he's memorable.
Yeah.
Kevin's in the chat. He says Van Wilder's the best National Lampoon movie. 100%. It's a shame that it even has the name on it. It's not. I'm only talking about the Chevy Chase.
I've never looked into
movies.
National Lampoon is. It's like a magazine or something.
It started out as a periodical for Harvard or MIT or something like that.
MIT?
No, Harvard or Stanford. One of those. It was like a college, the Lampoon, the National Lampoon. And then they became a comedy group, and then it became a whatever, and they started doing movies and bigger. They're still around.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I mean, they're still making these, I think, kind of shitty comedies now.
Yeah.
So I won't go into those Christmas movies. I did watch Adult Swim's Yule Log.
Oh, the second one or the first one?
First one.
Okay.
And at first I was like, is it just a Yule Log? But then like, because it starts like that.
Yeah.
And it turns into like, the subtitles were on and it said like vehicle approaching, footsteps approaching. And I'm like, have you seen these?
I've seen the first one.
And what it is, you have to be a little bit patient for the first like 10, 15 minutes. And then it turns out like the camera widens, or no, first there's like a murder. You see something happening in the foreground, but it's very obscured because it's very close up to the Yule log. And so a murder happens basically.
Yes.
And then after that, the camera widens, the killers go hide somewhere and hide the body that they killed. And you see more of the living room, and it ends up being like this like it's a couple, and the guy, as a side hustle, he films Yule logs for YouTube. Which is really funny.
Yeah, because somebody had to do it.
Yeah, somebody has to do these. The 10 hours of Yule log.
I should put it on the channel. Put it on the YouTube channel.
And it's a very Adult Swim for sure.
Yeah.
It turns into a slasher, not slasher, like a supernatural horror movie. It's kind of slasher. Nothing's more like that's not. No one's being slashed really. It's more like they're being pounded by a log. Heyo. And it's definitely silly. Doesn't take itself very seriously, but it is very bloody. It gets very bloody, and it was entertaining. Yeah. I enjoyed it for what it was. I don't know what to expect. I only heard about this because of the second one.
Yeah, and for those who don't know what the whole Yule log thing is, first of all, you're living under a rock. That's okay, no judgment. But
you're living under a log.
You're living under a Yule log. It's basically just a fireplace. It's a static video shot. It's a trend where you can, instead of having a fireplace running, you just put it on your TV and you go on YouTube, 10 hours of Yule log.
Yeah.
And you just play it throughout Christmas. And if you have YouTube Pro or Red or whatever the hell it's called, you can get it with no ads.
Yeah.
But still, you're watching basically just an uncut video of a Yule log with the crackling fire and everything. And it's great ambiance. And it's a fucking great concept because the first like 5-6 minutes is just a log.
Yeah.
So if you don't know any better, I'm assuming they wanted to trick some people.
Maybe.
Like, just hopefully some people got tricked into watching it. Like, oh, it's the Adult Swim Yule log. I'll watch them rather than the Hallmark one, just to give Adult Swim my money. Advertising time or whatever.
Yeah.
And they put it on, and 10 minutes in, you're like, what ungodly thing are we watching?
Yeah. It goes from you're watching a Yule log to like you're inside the Yule log talking to like some like paranormal demon guy from the 50s or the 40s or whatever. Because like the first guy shows like it's like a combined with like a cabin slasher camper movie where it's like we booked the same place at the same time. And
this is the second one now?
No, this is the first one.
See, I gotta rewatch it. I don't remember half of these things you're talking about.
Because the couple books the cabin, and then this group of like younger people show up, and they're like, "Oh, I booked it on Airbnb. Oh, I booked it on this website." So they didn't take it off of either one.
Yeah.
So now it's double booked, and now this couple is hanging out with these like potheads or stoners, and the major stoner, he gets tricked into he thinks he's just like seeing stuff or like hallucinating because he's on an edible, and
that's what happens when you're on an edible.
Yeah, you see stuff.
Yeah.
But no, he crawls into the fireplace and then he watches the guy like shows him his past basically, and it's really it's really weird. It's very Adult Swim, and but it's enjoyable, and it's streaming on Max. Both of them, Yule Log and Yule Log 2, branching out.
Do you watch the second one?
Not yet.
Okay.
No, I don't know if Deanna liked the first one enough to.
That's like I got to do it when she's not home.
Yeah. I got to do it during the holiday season.
Yeah.
That's a holiday Christmas horror movie. That's a comedy as well, because it is over the top in terms of the violence. And then my last one is I watched it via Mystery Science Theater. It's like a Mystery Science Theater Christmas special.
Okay.
That came out in 2022. They had like the old host, had the newer hosts.
Oh, cool.
Streaming on Prime and Tubi, the Christmas Dragon.
Oh, interesting. Never heard of that one.
Yeah, I mean,
I love MST3K. I'm surprised I never heard of that.
Yeah, and not the best MST3K in my opinion, in terms of like the jokes and stuff.
Sure.
You have like Patton Oswalt and Felicia Day as like the
interstitials.
Yeah, the people who like kidnap them. Yeah. And then you have Jonah and I can't remember the old guy, like older guy's name.
Joel or Mike? There's two of them.
I think it's Joel.
Joel's there. Okay.
Or maybe I don't know. But yeah,
Mike's the taller, thinner one. He's a little bit more like looks more like I don't know. Joel is like shorter, kind of dumpy looking.
But anyway,
in comparison,
not the best MS2 in terms of like their catalog.
Yeah.
There's funnier episodes. It's kind of like a host jamboree. There's like a bunch of hosts.
Yeah, sounds like it.
But it's a special, so and that's on Prime and Tubi if you are interested.
Cool.
But yeah, that's all I got.
All right, sounds good. We got a lot of fun stuff for everybody to watch.
Yeah.
Yule Log, Carry On, FX. FX is Christmas Carol.
Yeah.
And what do you think your biggest recommend is?
Probably Yule Log.
From Yule Log.
Or Ready to Rumble if you haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it. Maybe I'll dip in.
Yeah, just a silly comedy.
I'm not a big fan of like wrestling stuff, so who knows? All right, cool. Anything else?
Nope.
Okay, cool. So thank you to our cool ass yard duties over on Patreon. It is Javier, Heather, Michael, Steven, and Chris. If you want to support us on the Patreon, you can do so at patreon.com/middleclassfilmclass, or just watch and listen on the YouTube page. That helps too. Until next time. Thank you for joining us as we gab and chatter sans Tyler today. Follow us later on in the week on Christmas Day when we review Paul Blart Mall Cop, a Christmas present for all ages. Follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/MCFC podcast, and send us an email, mcfcpodcast@gmail.com.
And leave us a voicemail at 209-283-1716. Follow us on Twitter at PodcastMCFC and on TikTok at Middle Class Film Class, as well as Instagram.
Yeah, that's right. All those places. Some of them get updated, some of them not so much.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time.
See ya.
Oh, it's time for class.
Class is in session!
Roll call!
Bueller.
I'm gonna be late for class.
Bueller.
Am I hallucinating here? Just what in the hell do you think you're doing?
I'm late for class.
You are mine now. You belong to me.
Did you study for the test?
No more complaining. No more Mr. Kim left to go to the bathroom. Nothing. There is no bathroom.
Hello, classmates, and welcome to another episode of Middle Class Film Class Movie Review Edition. This week, the Wheel of Destiny landed on my pick, Paul Blart, Mall Cop. This is going to be kind of a lengthy trailer, I think.
Okay, that's okay.
It's about to, might cut it short.
All right. You must now pass the obstacle course. Survive this, and you're on the front lines of keeping New Jersey safe.
Meet Paul Blart.
Sorry about the test, Dad.
I'm gonna get him next year. I am. Here we go. Pie. It just fills the cracks of the heart.
That's not the line.
Pain.
That's not the line.
That's not what he says.
He says peanut butter.
Mall cop.
To protecting
We got a high roller.
the West Orange Pavilion Mall.
I'm afraid I'm gonna have to issue a citation. Can you validate this?
That's not in the movie either.
Sir, I'm warning you, sir.
Yeah.
Sir.
Classic bait
You're
and
a
switch.
nasty old man.
From Columbia Pictures.
Our security's fine, but ultimately we rely on the hope that nothing ever goes down.
That's not in the movie either.
There's some crazy people trying to take over the mall.
Now, help is on the way.
Reports are they're
Help is on the way, dear.
Until then,
I need you to exit the building immediately.
I took a sworn oath to protect this mall and all inside it.
Well, Sergeant, looks like you got your eyes on the inside.
there's Paul Blart.
Is he crying?
From Happy Madison.
What are you trained to do? Nothing. Oh, that's a bit.
This January,
Nobody knows this mall better than I do. Please clap.
the only man for the job
Blart.
Blart.
Peanut, Blart, and jelly. What's up, man?
was the last thing they expected.
Who is this guy?
His name's Blart.
Safety never takes a holiday.
Kevin James is Paul Blart, Mall Cop.
Oh, dear God.
Ugh.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Paul Blart Mall Cop. Paul Blart Mall Cop.
Yeah.
I'm your host, Joseph, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm
Paul Blart.
I realized I skip over that. Introductions.
That's okay.
Everybody should know who we are, right?
Yeah.
At this point.
And Tyler's gone. He's
No Tyler.
Yeah, he's delivering packages for all you people.
Yeah, for all you people.
If he was here, he would say exactly the same thing. He'd say, "You people need to stop ordering presents."
Yeah. Why can't you get your stuff ordered in time, huh? But anyway,
Yeah, why'd you do this to us?
Paul Blart Mall Cop. I don't know why. If it was some sort of
Just for the lols, as the kids say.
the lulls, I don't know.
We do a little trolling.
Not even for the lulls. It was more just like a punishment movie made its way onto the regular
Somehow.
onto the regular wheel.
Somehow.
But yeah, I put Paul Blart 1 and 2, so I don't need to replace.
Yeah.
We're still going through with it.
Still doing it.
Still committing to the bit.
Okay.
So not going to be next week unless it lands on it, I guess.
Yeah.
It'd be a Christmas miracle
It would be a Christmas miracle.
if it lands on it on number 2. But
I forgot this is a Christmas episode.
yes, happy Christmas,
It's Christmas Day.
happy holidays.
I hope everybody watched the FX Christmas Carol from the Gavin Chatter episode.
Happy Hanukkah, which begins on Christmas Day, I believe.
Is it really?
This year.
How convenient.
Yeah. And then happy whatever day that you do or don't do. I don't know.
Happy Yule.
Yeah.
As the pagans say.
As the pagans do.
Yeah.
But yeah, here on the Sunday, Monday before Christmas,
the birth of our Lord's Day.
Yes, we have watched Paul Blart Mall Cop, and we're going to be talking about it. It's directed by Steve Carr, starring Kevin James and other people. Mainly just Kevin James. There's no really any other recognizable.
I recognize Keir O'Donnell. He's the main villain.
Oh yeah, Vec.
Who you know the second he shows up that he's going to be the guy that takes over the mall.
Yes, Happy Festivus as well.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I forgot.
For all those years that your family has disappointed you, make sure you do the airing of grievances and the feats of strength. You fight your family, basically. So Paul Blart, directed by Steve Carr. Steve Carr has directed next Friday, Dr. Dolittle 2, Daddy Daycare, Rebound, Are We Done Yet? Sequel to Are We There Yet? And then leading up to Paul Blart Mall Cop. And Movie 43, he did a segment in Movie 43.
Wonderful.
And then he did a Freaky Friday TV movie. Not the Freaky Friday. So that's his track record. And Paul Blart. I don't even think he did the second one. I think somebody else did the second one. And this is about a mall security guard played by Kevin James who has aspirations of becoming a cop, a cab. And this takes place on the night before Black Friday, I believe, on Thanksgiving.
Yeah,
Thanksgiving
I believe so.
Night.
Yep.
When a shopping mall gets taken over by a bunch of organized crooks who are trying to rob the mall. I guess. We have Giordano playing the leader of the gang. It's not really a twist. You kind of see it coming from right when you see him.
Happy Madison Productions don't generally lean too hard on the plot.
Yeah.
Like the intricate weaving of storylines.
Yeah. And it's a organized gang, and they clear out the mall, and Paul Blart gets left behind because he was playing Dance Dance Revolution or something. Oh, no, he was playing a running game, which was basically just a treadmill.
That and also Guitar Hero.
Yeah, Guitar Hero. Oh, rock band.
Like a rock band.
Yeah. It was a rock band because he was singing at the same time. And it's a movie that we watched. It came out in January of 2009. I don't know what the hell was going on in 2009. We just came off the economic crisis.
Mm-hmm. We all needed a laugh.
The recession. Yeah, we all needed a break from the reality.
But instead of that, we got Paul Blart.
And fun fact about this movie, it is a winner of the top box office films in 2010.
Really?
Because it grossed over $100 million in its January release. And it's the first movie ever released in January to gross over $100 million.
Holy shit.
So a lot of people went to go see this movie because based on that trailer, it looks hilarious, right?
Yeah, sure.
Like, where was our humor at in 2009?
You know what?
What other comedies?
Oh, what other comedies
had come out?
Let's see.
Like, isn't that like Knocked Up era?
Let's see. 2009, A Serious Man, Funny People, 500 Days of Summer, I Love You Man, The Invention of Lying, Year One, He's Just Not That Into You, The Informant, The Hangover.
Okay.
So let's look at 2008 because this was in January of 2009.
2008 comedies?
2008 comedies, Step Brothers, Forgetting Sarah Marshall, Role Models, Yes Man, Don't Mess with the Zohan.
27 Dresses.
Zack and Miri Make a Porno.
Okay, so a lot of Seth Rogen.
Disaster Movie, Four Christmases.
The House Bunny.
Be Kind, Rewind. Tropic Thunder.
So there was some good comedy out there. Step Brothers was like one of the biggest mainstream comedies of 2008. And then you have Forgetting Sarah Marshall, which was also I think pretty well received.
Yeah, super good.
And then you have Zohan.
Then you have Zohan.
Then you have Zohan.
If I had $1 for every time I ended a sentence with "and then you have Zohan," I'd have $2, which is not much, but it's a weird thing.
And then Tropic Thunder,
twice,
arguably one of the funniest movies of 2008.
I'd say that's one of the funniest comedies of all time.
Yeah,
I would be bold to say.
So it's not like we were in a dry spell of comedy. And then January of 2009 comes along, and we get Paul Blart, the first installment of the PBCU, the Paul Blart Cinematic Universe.
Well, we could also add the M on there, PBMCU. It rolls off the tongue a little easier.
PBMCU?
Because you're just adding PB onto the...
Wouldn't it be PBMCCU?
Paul Blart Mall Cop Universe. Just leave off the cinematic.
Oh, okay.
Trade cop for cinematic. It's Paul Blart Mall Cop Universe.
Okay.
PBMCU.
PBMCU.
There we go.
And we watched it. I assume this is our both first time watching this?
Yeah.
Okay. Tyler, not here. I think you watched
Did
it.
not send in as...
He attempted to come to the show yesterday, even though we told him that.
we said
a slight reschedule.
We set it up a week ago because my family Christmas get together was this last night, Saturday night, out of town from here, and couldn't swing it. So like Monday or Tuesday, I'm like, yeah, we gotta do it on Sunday. You guys go with that? Tyler said yes, as long as I'm not called into work, because I've been working 6 days a week for like the last month or so, and it's gonna happen for another month or so because of the holidays. Since he's delivering packages. Joseph was on board, and then in true Tyler fashion, he ghosted us for the rest of the week on our group chat.
Yep.
And Saturday morning, call time is 11:30 a.m.
Usually.
At 11:37, he texts us, "Hey, running late. Be there soon. Sorry, like it's tomorrow." Oh,
Yeah.
great, awesome, and then didn't show up today.
Yeah. He got called into work.
For a good reason. Yeah, we understand. So no big deal.
But I assume he watched it yesterday morning.
Oh yeah, you're right. Because if he was going to show up to the show,
unless it's all a ruse.
In my head, I was thinking, no way he's going to watch this if he doesn't have to. He's not being forced to because he's not showing up for the show.
Yeah.
But he didn't know that until 4:20 this morning is when he messaged us.
Yeah.
Or when he got his text message from his wonderful boss.
Okay. So I don't know if it's the first time he's watched it, but I assume it is. Let's get into some initial thoughts. Pete, what did you think of Paul Blart Mall Cop? Did it live up to your expectations?
So I think it was probably a little bit better than I was expecting, to be honest. And I mean, I'm not expecting a lot from a Happy Madison production.
Yeah.
The year prior, and well, I should say like the 2 years prior, I know I'm pronouncing Chuck and Larry, 07. Pretty rough. 2008, Don't Mess with the Zohan, The House Bunny, Bedtime Stories. And I remember Bedtime Stories being cute, and The House Bunny was funny enough, but I don't remember it very well. And then in 09, it was Paul Blart Mall Cop, Funny People, The Shortcut, and then Grown Ups the next year, and Zookeeper. So like they went on a Kevin James run for a while. And
Yeah.
I forget just how many movies he was in for Happy Madison until you look at the history of it.
Yeah.
Is Angry Otter in the chat?
Yeah.
Oh, what's up, buddy? Forgive me, I've been neglecting the chat.
I mean, he was on King of Queens for
Yes, that's what I remember him.
for most of his career. 1998 to 2007. Damn, that's a long running
Yeah, that is
sitcom.
That is a long time. So I was kind of already expecting that I wasn't going to enjoy it. I think this is the peak era of the worst Adam Sandler movies. Like Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, all those like early era movies, even down to like Big Daddy and stuff like that was really good. And I don't think that was Happy Madison. That was before he became like
Before it became like
before it became a production company.
Yeah.
Once it got into his own stuff, do you want to know what the first Happy Madison movie was? Do you know what it was? 1999. Not starring Sandler. Starring one of his lackeys that you don't see much in his movies anymore.
Not Rob Schneider.
It was Rob Schneider. 99.
99. Deuce Bigelow.
Deuce Bigelow. That's right. That was the first Happy Madison movie.
Nice.
And then Little Nicky, then Joe Dirt.
Oh, Joe Dirt.
Yeah.
I didn't even realize. I guess that makes sense though.
Yeah. O2, Mr. Deeds, also written by Stephen Brill. Yeah, this was actually pretty funny for what it was. You know, I'm putting myself in the mindset of somebody who is going to enjoy this unironically, and I think you could do a lot worse. It's like I feel like this is almost like Christian comedy without the Christianity. You know?
Yeah.
So it's
like safe comedy.
Safe comedy is a good way to put it. Yeah. You know, you're not going to offend anybody with it. You're going to get some chuckles from grandma and the kids. But at the same time, it's pretty goofy. It's pretty goofy and schlocky, and it's not great, but it is competently done. And it's like all the beats that you expect of a movie like this, you get. you're taking the tour of the mall with the new trainee, and you're touching on all the things that are going to come in later when he's going to use them against the bandits. The ball pit he comes out of. I thought that was a cool touch. He knows the camera systems really well. He knows which stores have things he can use to his advantage and to thwart the villains or whatever. So it's like, in that regard, it's confidently made, but it's like, it's the most mid. It's right down the middle.
Yeah.
No risks, no chances whatsoever. You got the douchebag guy that sells pens that's hitting on the girl. He's a misogynist. I thought Jayma Mays was terrible in it. Like, she's very charismatic and she's sweet. She's a sweetheart. Like, she seems like a sweetheart, but her character is like no agency, not like two thoughts in her head whatsoever. They don't write her to be able to like allow her that like her own personality. She's just there because she thinks Paul Blart is funny or something. It's, I don't know. It was like, that was probably the most disappointing part of the whole thing, was that, and the fact that it was the whole movie.
Yeah.
And then on top of that, the biggest problem for me was that I absolutely love Observe and Report, which also came out in 2009.
Yeah, another mall security.
And
it's like another one of those Dante's Peak volcano situations.
People forget about that when they're making those like parody sort of, two coming out at the same time movies lists. But Observe and Report was the dark, chaotic, evil version of Paul Blart.
The R-rated version, right?
Yes. It's my first movie I ever saw with Michael Pena in it. He's playing as another mall cop, and Seth Rogen is absolutely unhinged. He gives one of my favorite monologues of all time in that movie when he's doing the psyche eval to be a police officer. Have you seen the movie?
Not in a long time.
Okay. Yeah, in that scene, he's sitting down with the psychiatrist, the police psychiatrist. To basically, he passed all the PT, the physical stuff for the police department. And he's sitting down for the psych eval, and one of the questions is, why do you want to be a police officer? And he gives this fucking phenomenal monologue. It's like, I guess that's the $1 million question. I have this dream most nights keeps me up, where I'm playing at the park or the playground, and everyone's enjoying themselves on a sunny day, and then over the hills, this black cloud of piss and shit and pus comes over the mountains, and they're attacking society, and everyone's like, whoa, what is happening? What's happening? And they look at me, and I come out from the bushes with the biggest fucking shotgun you've ever seen, and I start blowing people away. And he's mimicking shooting the gun at these imaginary people, and then at the psychiatrist too. And she's horrified, clearly, and then denies him. She doesn't say so, but he gets denied because of the thing. It's a fantastic scene in a fantastic movie. Super, like, counterculture sort of a movie. And every part of Paul Blart was also in Observe and Report. Like, it's like the beats are the same. He goes on a date with the cute girl from the cosmetics counter. He's out of place. He's a dork. There's cool guys that are kind of taking the girl from him, and blah, blah. It's like, it's so derivative of each other. And who came first? Who knows? Is it just because it is a story about a mall cop that you're absolutely going to do the same beats and all this kind of stuff? But the entire time I was watching Paul Blart, I'm like, I would rather be watching Seth Rogen doing his thing.
Because, like, yeah, very similar. Like, he also wants to be a cop.
Also wants to be a cop. Can't be a cop. Can't pass. Applies multiple times. There's a Bobby Cannavale is the dickhead cop in this one that talks shit to him. In that one, it's Ray Liotta. He's a detective talking shit to him.
Well, so actually, sorry.
Oh, it's okay.
Not a comedy, but Carry On also has very similar, because he also wants to be a cop.
Exactly. I was thinking about that earlier when we were talking about it.
He's
TSA.
Whatever his character's name is, airport cop.
Yeah. Yes. It is. I mean, and you want to be a cop, but you can't. So you got to prove yourself another way. You got to backdoor your way in.
Yeah.
You got to save the day so you get it. I can't remember at the end of Paul Blart. Does he?
You make a damn fine cop. It's pretty much the end of these movies.
Yeah. And in this one, he says, no, I'm a mall cop. I'm something better. Or something like that, right?
Yeah.
Okay. It's been 2 days since I've seen it. I already forgot about it. So that tells you what you need to know.
Well, he's still a mall cop, because in the second one,
I was going to say it has to be. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways, Empty Calories movie. Not not great, but also not terrible. So it's just not my movie.
Yeah,
this is not my movie.
And I'm trying to think of the demographic for this movie. Who got the most out of it? Like who would enjoy this movie? What type of person?
At the concussive head injury clinic at the hospital, maybe.
Maybe.
I'm being facetious. It's not that bad.
It's definitely a movie that it caters. I feel like it's so light lifting and so smooth brained. It's like a child wouldn't find it hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, it feels like a kids movie, but for adults.
Yeah,
you know, it's like
Dave and Buster's.
Yeah, exactly. Producer Justice watched this with us, and I think
he was cracking up.
He was. I think he said something about. I think he called it adult comedies for kids, or something like that.
Kids a comedy for adults.
I should have written it down what he said because it made sense to me at the time. But
yeah,
it's like it's a movie that you can put on at a kid's party.
Yeah.
So that, it's not going to be offensive to the kids coming in and out of the room. And that's, for the most part, almost every Adam Sandler movie is like that.
Almost.
Yeah.
It's very clean.
The straight ahead comedies. I mean, this is 40. They ain't going to do much.
This is like a radio edit of an explicit song.
There you go.
It's a radio edit of Observe and Report.
Of a comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like if a computer made a comedy.
Yeah.
An AI cloud model or whatever they call it.
Yeah. But I think I enjoyed it less than you did.
Probably. I was busting up, dude.
I was gonna do this whole thing where I was gonna be like, this is probably one of the most underrated comedies that I've ever seen. Is what I would have said if I was 11 years old.
Commit to the bit.
But yeah, I don't know. It was just like I watched it pretty stone faced, and not like, I don't want to sound like I was
too cool for school.
Yeah, exactly. But it just wasn't funny. It just didn't. I think because the movie relies a lot on physical humor, on almost like slapstick.
That's something I didn't mention. It feels like a vehicle that's specifically designed to show off Kevin James' physicality.
Yeah, and there's a lot of like body shaming jokes. Like it relies upon the fact that like he is fat. And
Farley did that through his whole career.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, Kevin James doesn't have the same charm.
Yeah, I don't know what it is.
It doesn't feel at all Farley-esque.
No, I don't know. Because was his whole shtick, right? Because he was big.
Guy in little coat.
And he was
sang a whole song about
it. He would hurt himself. He was like Jackass and fat. Because he would just like, be very physical in his comedy. But this, it just doesn't work. I don't know. Maybe just because like we have somebody who did it better. I don't know.
Maybe it's just because it feels derivative.
But it could also just be like really bad writing, really bad writing. And the corny ass like parkour like gang members.
Oh yeah,
was really really silly. And I couldn't. Not that you're supposed to take it seriously, but it just wasn't good.
Yeah.
It just wasn't funny. And it was kind of an eye roll a lot. A lot of that. There was like very few and far between funny moments, but yeah, it did just rely upon his sort of dopiness and his clumsiness and his sort of like kind of wholesome, passionate attitude towards security, where like he takes his job so seriously.
I feel like Sandler does that sometimes with his other characters, like Bobby Boucher, Waterboy, and also Hubie Halloween. Hubie.
Oh,
very similar. They're just like they're so earnest,
that
you can't hate them, but God, they're lame.
But they are lame. They're annoying. Yeah, and the joke with him is that like. He loves dessert. He has hypoglycemia, so he has to have sugar around him all the time. And then the whole pie thing when he's eating dinner with his mom and daughter.
He puts peanut butter on the pie.
Yeah. And he's like, I'll take the pie now. I'll take it now. And was it explained what happened to the mom? Because later in the movie, she says, you don't like she won't need a green card Was it supposed to be like a green card marriage that they had? Because his daughter's like Puerto Rican or Mexican.
Yes, that's what she says when he's looking at pictures of the mom, or she's going on the dating website.
Yeah.
She's like, well, I still haven't got over your mom. He's like, Dad, Mom's a bad person. She used you just for her green card.
Oh, okay. I missed that.
Yeah.
Because I got this.
That was a really clunky exposition.
I got this later in the movie. They mentioned a green card, and I was like, oh, okay. So I guess the mom just, used him for a green card.
You probably couldn't hear it over the sound of your eyes rolling back in your head.
Yeah. It's, yeah, I don't know. It just ended up being really just not really that entertaining.
You did this to yourself.
I did. And I'm going to do it again. For Paul Blart Mall Cop 2. Whatever happens in that mall. If it's the same mall, maybe it's a different mall.
It could be. It could be.
There was like some moments, and I can't recall right now, but there was a lot of moments that just didn't make sense, like continuity-wise. Mm-hmm. And I was watching it like in the moment, and I was watching it. I was like, wait, that doesn't make any sense. Why would they...
Like what?
I can't remember.
Uh-oh.
It was so unforgettable, or so forgettable.
Okay.
But I'm like, I'm not gonna put too much pressure on a movie like this to have strong continuity.
Sure.
It also was kind of confusing when the mall it doesn't close, when the gang takes over and they like tell everybody to get out. And he's locked himself in the arcade.
Yeah.
And he goes out and he's like, oh, mall closed early. It's like, wouldn't you know? Being that passionate about security, you'd be aware. You wouldn't be like, something's up.
Exactly. That would immediately be his first. Yeah, he would jump into action, not saunter.
Yeah. But there was like one good bit I remember is like when he's trying to hide from the parkour kids, he like goes in the vent and he sees the gimmick that the sports store is using, and he like gets in the vent and he just poses his legs. But other than that, it was the skateboard baddie guy was really, really dumb.
That's lame, yeah.
When he's on the roof.
I recognized him too. I don't know what from.
When he goes on that like little ramp on the roof and he's like has like a speech and he just is about to ollie away. But he just jumps across the gap.
Yeah.
It was just like, haha, he's fat. Haha, he's driving a Segway. Doesn't he look so silly? Ha ha ha.
Yeah, the Segway, because he's fat. Get it?
Yeah, I get it. Anyway. But yeah, it's overall just not a great experience. It's really underwhelming.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I was stoic throughout the whole thing, which is not a good sign in a comedy.
No.
Like, I would get a chuckle out of the physical things that Kevin James was doing, but I never thought, oh, this is Paul Blart. What a great character. I was like, oh, Kevin James is talented, like physically.
Oh, classic Paul Blart.
For a big dude, the dude can smash himself in a pane of glass really well.
Mm-hmm.
And I was curious if when he had Jayma Mays on the Segway, also one of the cringiest romantic scenes.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's the point. It's like, it's purposely stupid that she's like falling for him whilst on the back of a Segway.
Yeah.
But looking at that, I'm like, production wise, practically, was he actually driving that Segway with her on there?
I don't know.
Or was it a remote controlled Segway?
He does do some stuff. Like he like flips over a fence and it doesn't look like it's a body double. It's like one take.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. He's physically talented. He is. And I do think he's charismatic and he's charming. It's like, it's just, I don't know, the character is draining.
Yeah.
He's draining, you know?
And it's not like that he's overly annoying. Like he doesn't have an annoying voice or he just talks a lot or something. It's just like the situations he gets himself in.
Yeah.
And that's the way it's written.
Mm-hmm.
He's just a bumbling fool.
Yeah.
And it's almost like it's over exaggerated.
It's like he's very competent because he's been in the job for 10 years and he's whatever.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he's an idiot because he can't even deal with that old man when he's trying to give him the ticket.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
It's comedy that like, I don't know who would find this funny. I want like
children.
Yeah, I guess so. But like,
and here's the thing.
Should go on like IMDb and read the 5.
I got him pulled up already.
Oh, do you?
Don't
okay,
worry.
Cool.
I'll just do it right now. So when you're looking at a movie that's objectively not great, like this is not great. And I have some friends on Letterboxd who gave this pretty glowing reviews.
No.
Not glowing,
They
but
shall not be named.
Matt Stillman gave it 3 stars, which is
3 stars.
I think it's probably a little generous, but I still think that it's like I probably give it a 2.5. It's not that far off from like where me and Matt would align with ourselves. But then Mitch Burns gave it 1 star, and I like this movie way better than what's that movie that we watched with him?
Who?
Mitch's
wheel
pick.
What was it called?
An Unfinished
Life.
An Unfinished Life.
Unfinished Life.
I like this better than that. That's for sure. Sorry, Mitch. Okay. So when you're reading the reviews for this, there's a science to deciphering.
It's like Terrence Malick and liking Zoolander, like is one of his favorite movies.
Yeah, sure. But Zoolander's great. I love Zoolander.
But I know, but I'm saying is like Zoolander is one of his favorite movies.
Yeah.
And it's like Matt Stillman thinking.
Oh, and this is a great movie. Yeah. So, when you're looking through these, you can't immediately go to the 5 stars because there's too much irony in it.
Oh yeah.
Because if you look at the curve of the grade, it's like heavy on the 2.5, 3 range. It tapers down to 4.5, and then 5 is a big jump up because all these people are giving. Oh, isn't it so funny? I gave Paul Blart 5 stars. Haha. So
this movie is not even unironically enjoyable.
So I'm gonna read,
or ironically enjoyable.
So I'm gonna read some of those not serious 5-star reviews.
Okay.
That are clearly not serious. A phenomenal movie, very enjoyable. I like the part where he hits someone with a dachshund stuffed animal. Oh. Maybe that's earnest, but maybe not so much. Let's continue. Sigma, 5 stars. Holy shit, 5 stars.
Okay.
Probs, the best comedy ever made, 5 stars. This period is cinema, 5 stars.
Okay.
Masterpiece. If I had a printer, I would print the script of this film, roll it up, and stick it up my ass so I can never be apart from this piece of cinema. Kevin James has my heart, 5 stars. Objectively, the best movie of all time. There was a bunch of those.
Oh.
Classic. This one's funny. A meditation on duty, sacrifice, and the weight of the Segway we all carry. Paul Blart isn't just a mall cop. He's a profound mirror to the human condition. This one might be serious. Forever and I always iconic. Peanut butter fills the cracks of my heart is among one of the sayings I live by because of this movie. I thought that was a cute line.
Mm-hmm.
So those are probably most of those not earnest.
Joke reviews.
Yeah. But these are the 4.5. So if you just go back half a star, you get a little more serious ones. These are people who appreciated Paul Blart on a different level than us. This person watched the movie yesterday. I laughed a bunch of times. Kevin James is a really good actor, and this movie was just good. 4.5 stars from Tony.
Tony.
Revisited this gem. My new takeaways. Paul isn't really the hero. This movie is cute. I take some issues with the ending, believe it or not. Paul would make an awesome state trooper, and I would have been stoked to see him become one. Funny ass movie. His relationship with his daughter is so cute. It's so lighthearted, and you can't hate on Paul Blart. From Zachary Ross, 4.5 stars.
Okay.
Just a good, mostly clean, at sometimes juvenile, but mostly hilarious film. I feel like I have a drop for that.
Funny in places, occasionally stupid, but does not disappoint.
Certainly not highbrow and often, though not always, predictable. But the perfect movie to watch with some friends if you just need a good laugh. 4.5 stars. I love Paul Blart. Kevin James does an amazing job portraying this character, and he seriously carries this movie beyond just fine. I don't care what anybody says. This is a really awesome movie. It's hilarious and also has some lessons about family. What more could you want? In regards to the story, think Die Hard, except for kids. I think that's a great way to put it.
Everyone in this room is now dumber.
Also from Billy Madison.
Yes.
And then Paul Blart is going on the Hear Me Out cake.
Oh, God.
So those are some glowing reviews of Paul Blart Mall Cop.
Yeah. I do want to read this one from IMDb. 10 out of 10. This is not a serious answer.
Oh, great.
This is the top one, though.
Okay.
What does God look like?
Okay.
This is a simple question with a simple answer. Kevin James riding a Segway while making hilarious but also thoughtful political comments on modern socioeconomic issues.
All right. Fair enough.
Yeah.
That's what God looks like.
That's what God looks like. Other ones are 10 out of 10s, criminally underrated, perfect movie, 10 out of 10. Some say it's painful. I say it's extremely fun. Mall Cop, best movie of all time? Let's talk about that.
Hear me out.
Hear me out. Paul Blart, Mall Cop was a blast. Paul Blart, Mall Cop changed my life. A hero in every sense of the word. Yeah. Very good movie masterpiece.
Perfect.
So I don't know. This one just says Jamin Mays.
Jamin Mays?
Jamin Mays. J-Man Mays.
That's not even her name. It's Jama.
Jama Mays.
Jama Mays.
They added an N.
Yeah.
The actress who played Amy had to look her up because she has the eyes and smile of Goldie Hawn. Nope, no relation.
No, that's not true.
But she does have the smile of her mother being the daughter of Susan Paulette.
I don't know who that person is.
Oscar worthy. Kevin James, best actor of the year.
All
right. Funny, sexy, and damn right amazing. Just this movie cured my son's cancer.
What?
This is the best movie I've ever watched in my entire life. I own about 495 Blu-ray copies of this movie.
Okay.
I watch Paul Blart every single day. It is so good.
Wonderful.
There's a lot more to that review.
Why do they have to name him Blart? Paul Blart. It rhymes with fart.
Blart, fart. It's like bloat and fart.
Yeah.
Combined.
It's a bloated fart. It's a Blart.
But he just wants to be a cop. In whatever
New Jersey.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Jersey.
New Jersey State Police. I forgot about the SWAT team guy, Bobby Cannavale.
Bobby Cannavale, yeah.
Yeah. Who's his childhood bully?
Yeah, yeah. And that's more in line with the police officers that I know.
The Vec Sims was the guy's name, the leader of the gang. Really terrible writing. Because when the twist comes around that he's the guy, he's in on the gang, and they're in the bank.
Yeah.
He's talking to the pen salesman, and they're like, it was you. You're involved with this? And he's like, it's not just that. I'm the leader. Like, okay.
That's a little kid line.
I know.
They threw that in for the kids, just so they know.
His writing was really bad as well. He was not a menacing, intimidating guy. It was not.
I think if they gave him, he could have done well in a real action movie, being like a true sociopath, like murdered a child in front of everybody to gain.
Imagine
to show that he was serious.
Imagine if this movie took that turn.
Yeah, it would be very strange.
That would have been crazy.
Like a world U-Log scenario.
Yeah.
There's Did you notice that very strange out of place scene at the very beginning when it's establishing that he's good at his job, and he's segueing?
Paul Blart?
Yeah, and he's segueing around the mall, and he's like helping people with this or that, pointing people to the right toilets or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a very attractive woman, like Asian woman with the two little kids.
Oh, with the bag?
And he like picks up the bag off of the ground and hands it to the kid.
That's crying.
It's crying, and all of a sudden stops crying. And the woman looks at him like bewildered as he rolls away.
Yeah.
I thought it was very out of place. And I'm like, for one, it's a very, very attractive woman. I was like, very attractive. And of course, Sandler likes to pair up, the average dumpy guy with like basically supermodels.
Yeah, yeah.
Him and Kevin James and whoever else.
Yeah.
Joe Dirt.
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought it was strange. And when I was reading in trivia, that's Kevin James' wife in real life.
Oh, is it?
That's her wife. His wife, Steffiana de la Cruz, is her name.
Oh.
And the children were actors.
He must be swanging.
Yeah. You hear a thud when it comes out.
He's like a tripod.
It hits bedrock. You got to tuck that thing into the sock. You know what I mean? But so that person was related to him, obviously his wife, and then also the guy who was singing karaoke at the bar is his brother in real life.
Oh yeah,
Kevin James' brother.
Oh, that's funny.
Gary Valentine.
Yeah, the only guy in that restaurant who's doing karaoke. Nobody else is doing karaoke.
It was like he was the house band, but he was just doing karaoke.
He just hijacked the karaoke stage.
Oh, look at him in the picture, Gary Valentine.
Oh yeah, they're
just like him.
They're related.
Born Gary Joseph Nipfing. What?
Nip.
Knipfing.
Nipfing.
Knipfing.
Interesting.
Is that James's real last name? Let's see.
Kevin Nipfing.
Yes, born Kevin George Nipfing.
Nipfing.
Why wouldn't they choose the same last performance name? You got to cash in on that sweet Kevin James money. Maybe at the beginning of their careers, they went in separate directions and they said, we'll see who wins, James or Valentine.
Gary Valentine.
Gary Valentine. His claim to fame was, Here Comes the Boom. Okay.
What?
The King of Queen. Yeah, he definitely.
We bring the boom!
Yeah. Zookeeper and Jack and Jill. So,
God.
Really, yeah. Riding those coattails.
Real hitting those
But you know
runs.
what? Good for them. Sandler takes care of his friends, and his friends take care of their family.
So Happy Madison is Adam Sandler's company.
Mm-hmm.
So was Adam Sandler in the credits of this movie?
He's a producer.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. So anyways, that was a little bit of trivia from the family. So the bald tattooed skateboarder guy we were just talking about, he has a radio show on Serium XM called Faction. He had a spot in the mall where he would continue to do his show while the movie was being filmed.
Oh, so he would still do his job?
Yeah.
He was
like, while there was on, like, they had 30-day shoot or whatever,
Yeah.
he might have been there for 10 of those days or 15 of those days. He had a spot he could go to in one of the, I don't know if this is an abandoned mall that they did, or they just rented the whole mall out for a month.
I think it's an actual mall because, during the filming, the crew would allow his wife and 2 kids to go shopping around the Burlington Mall, which was in Massachusetts, while he would film his scenes.
I like this fact that there's Sharper Image in the store.
Yeah.
But it was, by the time the movie was released, Sharper Image closed all their retail stores. It
Really?
became catalog only.
Oh, God.
That's really funny.
And is it still catalog? Is it still around?
I would imagine so.
Sharper Image. I remember those stores.
That was Sharper Image. Yep, still there. Let's see. It was Sharper Image and Brookstone were the 2 big ones.
Brookstone. They had the massage chair.
And then, of course, Sky Mall.
Oh, yeah.
If you're in an airplane.
Yeah.
Let's see what's on Sharper Image right now. Monster Vision laser shooter game. Video camera bird feeder. Virtual ping pong.
They have the randomest electronic
They
items.
really do.
It's like a electronic store for inventors.
Yeah.
Like indie inventors.
Yeah, Indian inventors?
Indie.
Oh. True Night Vision binoculars by Sharper Image, and these are all in-house. They're by Sharper Image.
Oh,
I wonder if Sharper Image, like,
they buy it.
They find a product that's doing well, and they basically duplicate it without having to copy the patent, and then like re-release it with their own name, make some small changes to it or whatever.
Maybe they buy it from people.
Could be. That's Google's model. Nest is owned by Google, and that was a separate company.
Oh, really?
Before, yeah. Total hand compression massager.
I guess the score over the opening credits of this movie is an almost direct plagiarism of Trevor Rabin's and Mark Mancina's score to Con Air.
Wow, that's interesting.
Yeah,
Very
I
interesting.
don't even remember, but it's kind of crazy if that's true.
I like how that piece of trivia has 7 downvotes on it.
When Paul Blart first sees the assailants, he runs to hide and thinks of what to do. He said, "Observe and report." Observe and report is the other mall security movie that came out later that year. So it came out after this movie.
Well, that was the slogan on there.
Yeah.
When he was leaving it like a locker room, he slapped the thing.
Detect,
deter, observe, and report. I think something like that.
Something like that. Apparently, there was going to be a little bit of violence in this movie when Jayma Mays was going to stab Beck in the leg with a pen.
Cool.
That she received from the pen guy.
Oh, cool.
But it was ultimately cut as it was seen
kids.
as too violent.
Yeah. So there's your answer. This is a kid's movie.
Yeah.
I mean, if it wasn't already obvious.
Jackie Sandler, the cashier in Victoria's Secret.
I feel like she just got that facelift.
Oh, when in
right
this
before
movie?
the movie. Because it's like her skin is pulled back tight, dude.
Yeah. I've seen her in other stuff. I assume other Adam Sandler movies.
Yeah.
I couldn't say which ones.
Yeah, she's been in a bunch of his stuff, and she's not a good actor, and she's kind of frightening to look at.
Well, she's never the main character. She's never has a big role.
She's almost always a small character.
She's like Stan Lee.
A little bit bigger role than Stan Lee.
Yeah.
Also, what the hell is he talking about with that woman in the Victoria's Secret? In what universe would that work, Paul Blart?
What?
When he's like, listen, I've had my struggles with weight.
Oh yeah.
I got a really big kick out of that, even though I'm like,
we could both eat a little less, don't you think?
yeah, we've been on that journey. I'm still on it. Yeah, we both are. That's the stuff that really worked for me. Like the writing of the situation. This could never happen.
Yeah,
but a dope like a Paul Blart might say that thing.
I was thinking when I was watching this movie and scenes like that, I'm thinking about like being in the mindset of the audience in the theater, and I'm like, is the audience supposed to be like cracking up at this moment, like laughing their asses off, because at this fight scene in Victoria's Secret, you know what I mean? Like,
oh yeah,
is the audience
like, get him?
Yeah, like
you get him?
Is the reception supposed to be? Oh my god, look at Paul Blart fighting this woman in a Victoria's Secret. Well, is that supposed to be?
Yeah,
it just seems like so silly.
It
to
is
me.
Silly.
Was the joke that you have two bigger people fighting each other and like
it's that he's getting his ass kicked by a woman in a Victoria's Secret? I think.
I guess.
So is it fatphobic or misogynistic?
It could be. Why not both?
That's true.
But
it's a Christmas miracle,
says the producer Adam Sandler. Why not both?
So speaking of that, I've noticed this thing that Sandler starts doing later in his movies, where they would take racial stereotypes and like magnify them to the nth degree.
Oh, really?
Really heavily. Like Jack and Jill, he's got an adopted Indian kid that is just a fucking weirdo. Like there's no way else to put it. The kid's a weirdo in it. And they're playing it for laughs like, isn't this kid weird? What a weird kid. I can't believe we adopted him. And it's not specifically playing into the racial stereotypes, but it is, I don't know, it's just a little off-putting. And then in that same movie, he's got a gardener, this Mexican gardener, that when he goes to visit, he goes to like their family picnic or something at the park, and they have like a chili pepper eating contest. And it's like grandma's eating all the chili peppers and beating Jack or Jill or whatever in the contest. And it's like, it's not any one thing that's inherently offensive. And it's like, I'm not saying anybody should be offended at that. It's just a weird thing. And like putting the Indian boyfriend of the daughter of
ex-boyfriend,
ex-boyfriend of the daughter of Pahood, that's it, in there, and the way they have him talking, it's like we talked about Van Wilder being the best National Lampoon movie. That's Harold and Kumar, what's his name?
Kal Penn.
Kal Penn plays a small part in that. He's Van Wilder's like assistant, and he's putting on this exact same accent, like the magnified offensive Indian accent, you know, for the character, because he's supposed to be straight from India.
Yeah.
And it's like, it didn't serve any purpose. It was just like using that accent just fucking because it's funny. Because, well, look at the guy's head wobbles back and forth and he talk like this. And it's like, why did they do the whole character? There's no point of that.
Yeah.
That's not your, I don't know. It just feels like, it just feels off. Not necessarily racist, but just off, you know?
Like, why does he have to have the accent? Is it because that's the funny?
Because you're like, laugh at the accent.
That's funny.
Yeah,
that's the funny part, is that he has an accent.
Yeah, but I mean, Van Wilder. Let's see when that was. I think that was like 98 or something like that. Oh, no, 02. That was only 5 years before this, or
post 9/11.
7 years before this. Yeah, we really were leaning into that back then. What was I going to say? Oh yeah, so I've seen it a little bit more as like more Adam Sandler stuff comes up, and you're just like, but why do they have to be Indian and like have the thick accent and stuff?
Yeah,
because it's funny to kids.
They
teach him young.
Doesn't he have a different accent? That's what makes it funny.
Like some people were offended about Hank Azaria doing Apu on The Simpsons, like a white guy doing the voice of Apu.
Yeah.
And it's like, I know it started out in the like mid 80s, and obviously it's different back then. And he's like, I didn't think that I heard an interview with Hank Azaria. He's like, I didn't think my Apu was very good at all. It's like the most racist series. Yeah.
And you see him in his room.
Yeah. Simping.
Yeah. Like being jealous or whatever, accusing Paul Blart of being the other man, or whatever.
Can we go back to talking about Sharper Image, please?
Yeah, go ahead, please.
They have a digital scorekeeper golf watch for $64. What the fuck is that?
A golf watch?
It looks like one of those fitness watches. It's like a thin thing. It's the worst. We don't really have to go on there. We're almost at an hour.
Sharper image.
It's just funny because I keep thinking about this. Ooh, 3D drawing pen.
I just learned
right there, at the top right.
Oh god.
There it is. Look at it.
Oh, this?
Who's gonna score your golf game on that shitty watch for $64?
You know, I just learned about electronic whistles.
What the hell is that?
It's like
the hell is an electronic whistle?
It's almost like a key fob where you just push a button and it makes a whistle sound.
Oh, okay. It's like a noisemaker.
Like for coaches or PE teachers and coaches and stuff.
If you can't blow the whistle, it should be prohibitive to being a coach.
I know. I mean, maybe it's accessibility, but still, it's like, you know.
It hangs around your neck, the whistle, the traditional whistle. Why do you have to go any further than that? It hangs around the neck.
I don't know.
Oh my gosh, that's insane.
Let's do some shopping.
Yeah, here we go. There's a sharper image.
So we got a Bluetooth headphone adapter receiver. Those are still
Yeah,
things.
no one needs that anymore.
A phone ring light.
Okay, that's
3D pen.
Yeah, for $95, that seems way high for a 3D pen.
$95.
I feel like what I said at the beginning is now become truth.
What?
$47 for a selfie stick.
A selfie arm.
These are people that are completely out of touch with the reality of what things cost.
Bluetooth headphone adapter for $60.
Oh my god! Look at that bookmark.
What the fuck?
Electronic dictionary bookmark. You could punch in
words and it'll look it up.
This is for someone who doesn't have a phone.
This is for your grandma.
Yeah. Grandma, I know you don't know how to use your droid.
Choose your moon phase Titan bracelet for $64.
Man, these people are getting fleeced.
2-in-1 digital laser tape measure.
That's not bad.
Travel mirror password vault.
Oh, what's that fishing bobber?
Smart fish finder.
That doesn't work.
$120.
There's no way that fucking thing works.
What is it supposed to do?
It's supposed to be
looks like a game.
It's like a bobber. And you put it in the water and it
tells you how deep the fish are.
It tells you where the fish are, if there are fish down there.
What? That's like video game radar.
Yeah, fish finders are a real thing, but they don't go on the end of a string.
A drone. What is this? Professional lip therapy device.
Oh, sweet for those when you want smoother lips.
A headband flashlight. I've seen those.
Yeah,
a digital bass. Oh, it's a baseball Bluetooth speaker.
Okay, what the? We've officially run out of problems.
We've ran out of things to talk about for Paul Blart.
Well, that's true.
Photo effects ball, a knife, 100-year-old Indian head penny. This knife is 100-year-old. They're selling a 100-year-old knife for $40.
Of anything that should be $100, there should be that.
yeah. Oh, golf club sensors, cigar holders.
What's that thing with the 3 buttons on it?
This?
Yeah.
Social media swiper.
What?
Oh, so it's like a ring that you, so like if your phone is away from you, you can swipe wirelessly.
What? Can you blow that up? Click on that. Click on that. Click on the picture. What does it do? It only works for an hour and a half on a single charge.
No. Charging time.
Okay.
14 hours, 2 hours per day, 1 week single use. So you could be on your phone wirelessly for 2 hours
a day.
2 hours a day.
For a whole week.
It pairs with your laptop, smartphone to help you quickly scroll through videos. So it's basically just like a TikTok swiper. Or
okay, so you can
Instagram Reels.
You can have your hands in your lap or jerking off while you swipe.
Yeah.
I'm sure I would probably over under on how many people are using that to masturbate is like 50%.
Yeah, who's this for? It's for
masturbators.
Yeah.
I just said.
It's for amputees.
Well, that wouldn't be bad.
Yeah. Accessibility. What is this?
Helps you masturbate when you're amputee.
Digital compass. I'm getting kind of crazy here. Cufflinks.
Cool. It's the first place I think of for getting cufflinks is Sharper Image.
Another moon phase Titan bracelet.
No wonder they closed their retail space.
A beer foam maker.
Cool. Now you're speaking my language.
But doesn't the beer already have? I mean, unless you're pouring flat.
Oh, that's making more foam?
I guess.
Count me out.
Beer. Is it your beer really flat when you pour it?
I could use that on a Diet Coke from earlier.
Yeah.
I was looking at that Coke and it looked like, look at the color of it.
It's very dark.
No, it looks like it's like see-through.
Oh.
I feel like it's supposed to be darker. I don't know. From in the camera, it looks really dark. Let's see if I can.
Now we're
See, look at this.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Look how translucent this is.
See, that's how you know it's bad. You can see through it.
It's
supposed to be like motor oil.
Yeah, well, it says it expired in 2023, so that's probably why it
Where'd you
tasted
even get
gross. In my fridge.
Oh, okay.
The garage fridge.
Anyway.
Yeah,
that's enough.
You want to grade this thing?
Yeah, I guess so. Well, you go first.
I'll give it a C. C plus. C plus.
Plus?
Yeah, C plus.
What's the plus for?
For Kevin James.
For Kevin James?
Yeah. C plus.
Ugh.
If I was a kid, I would think it was great.
I mean, it wasn't offensively bad.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like
it was like a nothing movie. Like I didn't get anything.
Empty calories.
I didn't lose anything except the hour and a half of watching it
and your dignity.
Yeah.
For having to type in the words Paul Blart.
Yeah, into my Netflix, which is leaving soon from Netflix, by the way.
Which is more embarrassing to say you watch this weekend, Martyrs or Paul Blart?
I don't know. Do I get anything?
Depends on the audience.
Do I get anything out of Martyrs?
I loved it.
Okay.
Yeah, but most people would probably just think that it's so
torture porn.
It's torture porn, disgusting,
or violence porn.
It's torture.
It's
What are you gonna
like? It's
the first entry from the PBMCU.
Yeah, like a C minus.
Okay, not that far off.
Like it could be entertaining. I don't think today's kids would enjoy it though.
It depends on how young.
Them and their skibbity toilet rizzes.
They might. I mean, they might look at it and be like, "Oh, this is just like my dorky dad," and then get a laugh out of it.
But I feel like they're aware of memes earlier and the Paul Blart memes.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Like at some point, will this become like Shrek, where everyone this become like
beloved?
Yeah, like a patron saint Shrek or Paul Blart.
I don't think so. It's not weird enough. It doesn't push any boundaries. It doesn't.
Yeah, you're right.
There's no offensive-ness to it except for like the fat shaming jokes.
Yeah. And the misogyny.
Yeah, some of the
and the racism.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's 2008.
The casual racism, or is it casual, or is it?
It's casual.
Formal.
Yeah. No, they're not like completely calling them out for
formally racist.
Yeah, they're not formally racist. It's just casual.
Casually racist.
They're like semi-pro, not professional.
They're D-League racist. Minor league MLR, minor league racist. Anyway,
so C plus for
C
me.
plus, C minus. Tyler, A plus. Really? That's crazy.
I'm your host, Outrageous Tyler.
That's
Boy,
right.
you sure are outrageous.
Tyler, you're outrageous. You're outrageous.
Yeah, well.
That's the actual grade for the movie.
Yeah. So Paul Blart off the wheel. Now it's time for the wheel.
One wheel.
Oh, yeah, Tyler in there.
That's Tyler.
3 hosts. This is the Wheel of Destiny.
All right, Paul Blart, number 1 off the wheel, and I'm just crossing out the 1.
Yep.
And now it's Paul Blart 2.
We'll see you with the second one.
Yeah.
Whenever it lands on it, if it's any better or worse. From all accounts, it's worse.
I really want to watch Observe and Report now. Maybe we'll put that on the wheel. Okay, let's recap what we have on the wheel for new listeners and new viewers. Oh, boy, big screen here. Here is the Wheel of Destiny. 8 slots on it, 2 for each of us, 2 for the Patreon. And right now we just have Flypaper from Angry Otter on for the Patreon. I need to send a message out to the rest of the class. And I need to actually find out who is next because I got 3 people that are right around the same time that's about their time. So anyways, let's recap the wheel. We got Paul Blart 2 from Joseph, The Hunt from Joseph, Flypaper from Angry Otter, Falling in Love Like in Movies from Pete, Hell Comes to Frogtown from Pete, The Fisher King from Tyler, Killing of a Sacred Deer from Tyler.
Okay.
And let's give this a spin. This is what we watch next week. If it lands on one of Tyler's, he forfeits because he's not here.
Oh,
Ooh.
look at that.
The Hunt. 2 in a row for Joseph.
Alrighty, The Hunt.
Whoops.
The Mads Mikkelsen, The Hunt.
Yeah, let's look it up here.
The foreign, The Hunt.
I want to say it's from Denmark.
Probably because...
but he's in a lot of other stuff too. 2012, Mads Mikkelsen, original title, Jagten. Jagten.
Thomas Bo Larson, Mads Mikkelsen.
Oh, this is Thomas Vinterberg. I didn't realize that. Written and directed by Thomas Vinterberg.
Yeah.
Who has also done Another Round that won Best Foreign Feature in 2020, and The Celebration, and a couple other things.
Mads Mikkelsen plays a teacher, and
it's like a kindergarten teacher.
Yeah,
young. You want to read the synopsis?
Yeah, teacher lives a lonely life, all the while struggling over his son's custody. His life slowly gets better as he finds love and receives good news from his son, but his new luck is about to be brutally shattered by an innocent little lie. And it's something to do with like a accusation. Right?
It's not a spoiler, so I'll just tell it so you can kind of get hooks in you. One of his young students, a kindergarten girl, says that he touched her.
Yeah,
but he never did.
Yeah,
and the way that it plays out when you hear the synopsis, you're like, how could that be possible? But you know without a shadow of a doubt, he didn't do it. Like they don't play with did he actually do it or not? It's 100% he didn't.
Yeah,
and you see how she kind of gets talked into it, and it's heartbreaking because as soon as it leaves her mouth, you're like, this guy's fucked.
Yeah, it's almost like sounds like atonement almost.
Yes.
So Sharonan,
it's like a false
out of jealousy or something.
False rape accusation, or The Life of David Gale is another one with Kevin Spacey. Similar thing, but that was slightly different. But
in the real life,
yeah,
it was he did do it.
And that is streaming anywhere. Let's see.
Oh yeah, Plex.
Let's see here. The Hunt 2012, Roku, Hoopla, Vudu, Tubi, Canopy, Crackle, Pluto, and Plex.
Oh, okay.
All the free places.
Accessible.
Yeah.
And it's a drama.
That'll be fun. So we'll hear Tyler talk about Paul Blart next week and also The Hunt.
Yeah. And maybe Carry On if you watched it. I don't know.
Carry On? Oh, yeah. I forgot. He's been busy, so I'm not going to give him any shit if he didn't watch Carry On. He said he would, but I understand.
It says a lot of stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And normally he has no reason to lie or to not come through, but when he's working like 12-hour shifts 6 days a week, I'll cut him some slack.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, so anything else?
Nope. Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Today is Wednesday, the day of the birth of our Lord and Savior.
Your Lord and Savior.
Our.
Yeah. Hug your loved ones.
Or maybe it's not. I don't know.
Yeah. Hug your loved ones. Confess your love for Christ and or Satan.
Yeah.
Or the Jesus or the Jewish God.
Hope you got whatever you wanted in your stocking.
Yeah.
In your presents, in your boxes, in your bags.
I gave Joseph his Christmas present earlier today.
Yes. My neck.
You want to say what it was?
My neck, my back.
Pillow.
My crack. We'll be feeling good, better.
Yeah.
I
got Joseph and Deanna like a neck support thing that helps like release the pressure off your spine, and then this back massager that you can massage your own back with.
Yeah, you don't need nobody.
It's great.
And I got Pete tickets to a event happening here in Sacramento at the Crest Theater. The composer for Birdman is touring around with the movie Birdman and doing a live score along with the movie.
Which is crazy because it's one dude and it's that like rough drum set, like a jazz drum set.
Yeah, just one guy and a drum set.
It's so cool. It sounds cool. I can't wait. It's in January.
Yeah, so that will be exciting.
Yeah, thanks, buddy. Appreciate that.
And Tyler, sorry, you missed out.
All right, so anything else?
Nope.
Well, thank you to our cool-ass yard dudes over on Patreon. That's Javier, Heather, Steven, Michael, and Chris. If you want to support us on the Patreon, you can do so at patreon.com/middleclassfilmclass. Or you can just watch us on the YouTube page. That helps too. Thank you to all of our Patreon subscribers and all of our listeners. It really means a lot that you guys are taking the time out of your day. There's so many minutes in the day to listen to podcasts or spend with your family, and you choose to spend it with us. So it really does mean a lot. Thank you so much.
Yeah. And I guess we'll see you in the next year or something.
That's right.
Is it really the next year?
It's going to be, yeah.
It'll be New Year's Day for our Wednesday episode, for our movie review episode.
Yeah, it will. We'll be recording on the 29th next week, and it'll come out. The Gavin Chatter will be on the 30th. And then the first of the year will be our review episode of
The Hunt. What a way to start the year off.
Hell yeah. So until next time. Thank you for joining us as we Gavin Chatter without Tyler on the last episode, and we review Paul Blart Mall Cop. the first entry in the PBMCU. Follow us next week as we review 2012's The Hunt, starring Mads Mikkelsen. Don't watch the other one. We already covered that one. Follow us on Facebook, facebook.com/MCFC Podcasts, and send us an email, mcfcpodcast@gmail.com.
And leave us a voicemail at 209-283-1716. Follow us on Twitter at PodcastMCFC and on TikTok and Instagram at Middle Class Film Class.
All right, see you later.
See ya.